preguntas son?
¿Cómo una persona se queda segura en Colombia?
¿Cómo la qué? Se sienta.
¿Se queda seguro en Colombia?
¿Se queda seguro?
Sí. Porque no sé si escuchaste que drogaron un hombre que era gay. ¿Cómo se dice? Una persona que, ¿cómo se dice lo que trabaja adentro del avión? Mesero, pero adentro del avión.
Un auxiliar de vuelo.
Sí. Tuvo como 2 días de descanso en Medellín porque vino de un vuelo de Miami. Y pues lo drogaron él y su compañero, pero él lo mataron, lo encontraron su cuerpo hace unos días.
¿En Colombia o en Medellín?
Medellín. Sí. Yo creo que se fue a un bar gay o algo así, no sé. El hombre tenía esposo, ¿no? Algo así. Pero vino el papá y lo encontraron en el cuerpo. Dicen que tiene como las pistas, el teléfono de las personas, las caras, el carro, todo, pero todavía no encuentran a la gente. Yo creo que están como escondidos en el barrio o algo así, yo me imagino.
O sea, pero lo drogaron ¿en qué provincia?
En Poblado.
En el Poblado.
Sí.
Bueno, es que supuestamente dicen que en el Poblado en ese momento están robando bastante.
Sí. Bueno, el compañero de él lo encontraron en la calle, pero él lo encontraron en el bosque, algo así, muerto su cuerpo. Lo encontraron 2 días. Sí.
Sí, solo que, o sea, en Medellín es muy seguro en muchos aspectos y obviamente Medellín es una ciudad viva donde tú puedes turistear y muchas cosas, pero depende de la zona. Si te vas al Poblado, en ciertas partes son muy inseguras, por lo que sos turista.
Pues la cosa es que los colombianos no se toman los tragos conocidos así, like si una persona te da un trago, es una costumbre, pero la cosa es que mucha gente que llega allá no sabe eso, entonces like, un desconocido te compra un trago y no piensa que puede ser peligroso o mortal. Ese es el problema que está pasando con los extranjeros. Miran, bueno, para ser honesto, las mujeres que están drogando todas son mamaceas. Yo todavía no he mirado a una mujer que diga, ella me había regalado, pero like, pues la verdad, todas las mujeres que yo veo que están drogando son feas. Yo le digo, viste a Samerín para eso, no chingues.
O sea,
son horribles. Si miras las caras de las mujeres, like, tú no miras, no mames, güey, pinche gente. Es que la gente en Estados Unidos son muy desesperadas, así. Y yo nomás estoy pensando, like, hay tantas mujeres lindas, güey, like, y vas a agarrar eso.
O sea, pasa.
Si te droga una mujer bonita, fuck, al menos puedes decir, pues era mamacita, pero la muchacha la mía está toda horrible de la cara, like, ay no, del barrio con tatuajes en el pescuezo, así horrible.
Como así, yo tengo tatuajes en el
pescuezo. Sí, no, pero los tatuajes los de ellos son como de así, como un niño de 5 años lo dibujó.
O sea, como de barrio.
Sí.
De comuna.
Sí.
A ver. Es que ahí llegamos al punto donde está mal. El turista llega y, o sea, ¿cómo me vas a ofrecer un licor y te lo voy a aceptar? O yo no. O sea, eso es de lógica. O sea, no puedes llegar y tomarte un licor así como así. No, porque sabes que ese licor vienen cosas, consecuencias. Que una de las consecuencias son escopolamina y, o sea, te puede pasar y muchas veces son con los turistas. O sea, eso pasa mucho.
So she's saying that the problem is that a lot of tourists are getting like too much confidence in that country. They're letting like random ass women give them drinks without like knowing like what's going on behind the culture over there, especially Medellin, but the whole country. They've been doing that shit to each other for a long time, but now the Colombians know that they drug a foreigner, it's a lot more money. Why drug a local? ¿Qué es lo que va a ganar una persona si droga a una persona local? Nomás un teléfono, ¿verdad? Un par de pesos. Por eso es que ya nomás están drogando a los turistas. Porque si te drogas un colombiano, ¿qué es lo que vas a ganar? Un teléfono cagado.
Y a mejor
sí, por eso es que soy ingenuo, que por eso es que ya cambiaron la táctica.
En cambio, los turistas, o sea, buscan el dinero. O sea,
ya es más dinero, y no nomás eso, pero ya es sofisticado porque ahora tienen hombres que se hackean tu teléfono y te agarran el dinero. Yo he
Todo,
mirado
sí.
mucha gente que me sacaron mi cuenta, me sacaron $10,000, like, entonces es como un crimen, ¿cómo se dice?
¿Qué?
Una cosa de mafia, pero muy profesional. Tienes la mujer, el carro y la persona que sabe cómo hackear los teléfonos.
Sí, así, o sea, tienen
Entonces,
una red de robo.
entonces me preguntaron por qué la policía no hace nada para enforzar las leyes o castigar a la gente. Pero sí está, they are punishing people, dude, but it's like the criminal system in Colombia is very slow, dude, and they really don't care. There's a lot of corruption. Um, yo tengo un amigo que estaba ahí, viviendo ahí en Colombia por 15 años. A ver si sube, pero no creo que se vaya a subir. Se llama Rob. Él me está diciendo que él tenía un apartamento allá que él rentaba para la gente local en Cali.
Sí,
Y
en Cali.
que sí, que la persona que se estaba quedando y se salió con todas sus cosas, like, vamos a decir que yo me estaba quitando todos los muebles. Entonces él fue a hablar con la policía de Cali y la policía le dijo, todo eso es donde tú estás. Y dijo, pues en Colombia, no estás en loco, Colombia. Dijo, le dijo, plenamente le dijo así, cárate un sicario, no puedo hacer nada por ti. Tú estás diciendo el jefe de policía diciéndole a un extranjero que agarre un sicario. Y vas a tener que agarrar justicia en tu propia mano. Y mi amigo dijo, like, what the fuck?
Bueno, pero en Medellín no pasa eso. En Medellín la policía actúa, o sea, en Medellín te ayudan.
Sí.
Pero no se puede dar con los implicados del robo en el momento.
Es que no hace nada.
Y eso, y te advierten en lugares que no puedes asistir por lo que son peligrosos. Solo que muchas veces los turistas quieren ingresar a barrios que no se pueden ingresar. Sí. Porque en Medellín.
Pero la cosa es que cuando roban allá, la policía no hace nada, porque yo estaba con una amiga, le robaron el teléfono, fuimos a la estación de policía y pues ahí tenía como una mesa de todos los teléfonos robados y unos hombres, como unos 15 hombres, les llevan sortada. Dije, pues yo nomás miré eso, dije, like, man, por eso es que hasta yo voy a robar, porque like, si te cachan, nomás te dejan en el piso por unas 6 horas, si te vas a la casa, entonces no pierdes nada, pero si agarras un teléfono iPhone, ya agarraste $1,500. So I'm telling them like how like they, even when they catch like pickpockets, because I've seen it, they put them like on the holding cell. Well, not even a holding cell, like a garage. And they'll have them there for like a few hours, and people will go there and claim their cell phones and stuff like that. But they have like a table full of cell phones, and those guys that they had caught, they were going to let them go in a few hours. So that's why I say like there's no like incentive for the criminals to stop, because imagine if you get caught, you're only going to be in a holding cell for a few hours and let you go. So why not keep doing it? Because if you do steal a cell phone, an iPhone, that's like $1,500. That's what a Colombian makes like in 4 months. So, pero Rob siempre se miente. No sé dónde está Rob. A lo mejor está trabajando o está en el gimnasio. Estaba en China hace un mes. Pero Rob es el que conoce más, como te digo, él tiene como 15 años ya en Colombia. Y pues él fue uno de los primeros que llegó en el país antes que llegaron los turistas. Yo como en 2011, 13 por ahí. Pero él se ha quedado en Cali, pero él me dijo que lo robaron también otra vez en Cali, en Estrata 5. 2 hombres de 2 motos, fíjate, y pensaba que estaba en un lugar seguro, porque como era una estrata más alto y en un barrio de ricos, como quieran lo robaron a él. Sí, bueno, por eso es que a mí me parece que hay otras ciudades en Colombia que son más peligrosos. Como yo puedo caminar en Medellín, yo no me siento como alarma, pero cuando estaba en Cali, yo siempre estaba como fijándome, no sacaba mi teléfono.
O sea, lo que es Cali, Bogotá,
sí.
Son ciudades que son
más peligrosas,
un poco más inseguras.
Sí. Sí, eso es lo que yo pienso. Pero no sé lo que va a pasar porque, yo pienso que la cárcel no está haciendo bastante. Estás diciendo que va a construir una cárcel, pero dije, ¿para qué construir la cárcel cuando ustedes canchan a la gente mala, los dejan soltar en el próximo día? Es como nomás para un show. Yo creo que él quiere correr por ser presidente, algo así. But I don't think the mayor is doing much. I just think he's building a new prison over there in Medellin now. And shit. But I don't know what's gonna happen. I just kind of feel like the mayor doesn't care. Um, I mean, el presidente, ¿cómo se llama? Petro, no hizo nada para eso tampoco. Like, es como, like, vale madre. No sé, hay mucha corrupción en Latinoamérica, te digo la verdad. El único que yo pienso que está haciendo una cosa es Burke de El Salvador. Han controlado el crimen ahí, está muy como limpio, la ciudad y el país entero, pero yo creo que una persona tiene que ser como Burke para controlarlo, porque si no, no. Y es cabrón el güey, like, yo no estoy de acuerdo con cómo trata a los prisioneros, pero trabaja. Like, ya la gente está como más tranquila.
No, sí, pero pasa que, o sea, Petro ha trabajado mucho en eso. O sea que en el tiempo atrás, en el de Uribe fue un caos total.
Sí.
O sea, en el tiempo de la gobernación de Uribe había muchos paramilitares, muchas cosas, pero ahora con Petro se ha calmado mucho. O sea, el país no es que sea el más seguro, pero está en uno de los más seguros. Y Petro ha ayudado a contrarrestar eso.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, yo pienso que, like, no, like, es muy difícil. Como son las cosas que pasaron y pues dejaron ¿cómo se dice? Los parlamentarios hacer lo que ellos querían en los bosques y pues está cabrón también. Like, las guerras contra los comunistas mataron mucha gente inocente. So I'm just pretty much saying like the president, he's done what he can, but it just goes back decades. Like I said, they've had a lot of issues with paramilitaries as well, like letting them be armed, letting them go into villages and kill communist sympathizers. It's pretty fucked up when you really think about it, man. The history of it is like really sad. Like if you ever watch Narcos, like it's really true. Like the paramilitary, los Castaños, they will go into like villages and kill a lot of innocent people just because you lived in a communist zone. Kind of like what America did in Vietnam. Americans did the same thing with the Viet Cong villages. There's a lot of videos of Americans going inside villages and burning the whole village down just because they got shot at that village. So I guess as Americans, we can't really say nothing because our armed forces did the same shit in Vietnam. I don't know if you ever heard about that massacre where they killed over like 500 civilians in that village in South Vietnamese. I forgot the name of the massacre, but everybody that was involved in it got away with it, guys. Nobody went to jail, so I guess we can't say shit, right? Like this is, I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard to reverse stuff like that. I think as a society, we try to do our best that we can, but it's just very difficult. It's ingrained in the culture over there, man. It's I think it's doing. I think the mayor to me is doing a horrible job, and I think it's just doing show face. Mira, yo pienso que el alcalde de ese pueblo de Medellín nomás hace como una cara, like dice, mira que queremos como atrapar la gente que se mete con menores de edad, los gringos, pero si tú vas al centro, ahí tú miras a las mujeres de 3 años caminando, trabajando, y es obviamente lo que están haciendo, y la policía no hace nada. La policía está como caminando, y es como, like, bueno, like, ¿dónde está la justicia para los niños? Entonces, like, tú puedes cerrar el parque de Hieres, está bien, o controlar lo que está entrando. Yo estoy mirando que la otra vez que estaba ahí, que sí, pues, piran la ciudad de las mujeres, pero también en el centro, like, se voltean, al otro lado lo más lo hacen así. ¿Sí? Entonces, como, like, para mí, esto más está haciendo un show él. Yeah.
A ver, el presidente, es que el presidente,
No, estoy dejando el
el
alcalde.
alcalde de Medellín,
Federico,
no,
sí.
O sea, Federico es lo más malo que puede existir en Medellín. O sea, él dice y dice cosas, pero no las cumple. ¿Qué hizo en estos días que le estaban preguntando en una entrevista? Se hizo el huevón y se quedó callado y señalaba al otro y el otro también se quedó callado. O sea, ¿qué hicieron? Como si no hubiera señal. O sea, él no sabe ni siquiera qué es lo que está gobernando. Porque es un alcalde que, la verdad, está mandado a recoger. O sea, Medellín necesita algo más seguridad, mucho más gobernación.
Porque yo pues está haciendo una cárcel, eso cuesta mucho dinero. Después está haciendo, no sé si oíste que dijo que está haciendo como una piscina fuera del aeropuerto. ¿Dónde se llama esa área? Río Negros.
Río Negro.
Ok, está haciendo una cárcel y está haciendo una piscina. Pero yo estoy diciendo, like, ¿cómo eso le va a ayudar al pueblo de Medellín? Like, una piscina, tienes gente que está como sufriendo en los barrios. Es like, la juventud, por eso muchos que se meten como bandidos porque no tienen trabajos, no hay oportunidad de regresar en la vida. Entonces, ese es el problema que yo, estás haciendo en la cárcel, pero dije, like, ¿por qué no haces otra universidad? Y los ayudas a la gente de los barrios que agarren empleo. O algo así, like, que no tiene problemas con los turistas que están viniendo. Lo que él puede hacer es, sabes que vamos a cobrarle un puesto de $10 a cada turista que llega a la ciudad y con ese dinero pues comienza a ayudar a los estudiantes y la gente que tiene necesidad. Ahí vas a ganar mucho dinero con $10
y
nomás.
en eso tienes razón.
Con ese dinero vas a
Porque,
ganar millones de dólares y, mira, podemos, no puedes ayudar a todos los estudiantes, pero mira, sabes que mínimo unas 3,000 mujeres solo tienen como los estudios pagados por todo el año. Y estás ayudando al barrio poquito a poquito, pero voy a hacer una cárcel y voy a hacer una piscina. Like, what the fuck?
o sea, es premiarlas.
Y tú
Es
nomás,
premiarlas.
it's like, no, she's just saying that the mayor's like, he just says a lot of shit and doesn't complete, like he's just a piece of shit. Like he's like, not very good, man. He says a lot of things. They're building a prison. They're building a swimming pool outside the I don't know. He made like a big deal about it. They're building like a large swimming pool slash like resort, if you want to call it, outside the airport of Medellin. But how's that helping the people? So that's where the issue starts. Like all the money is going towards the rich over there. It's not helping the barrio people. So that's why you have a lot of crime over there in that city. People don't have a lack of opportunities. So that's why a lot of youth towards the crime. And the same thing that you see in Mexico. There's a lack of opportunities in Mexico. So a lot of people go into like the organized crimes, the mafias over there and shit. Like you'll be surprised how little they get paid over there too in Mexico for risking their life, but just people are so desperate for money that they do anything. So if anybody has more questions, we're not gonna be here that long, maybe like another 20 more minutes. But I had to do the live a little bit earlier because my friend has to leave. So I figured I'd just do a quick live. People could ask questions. Right now it's the opportunity. Uh, I know there's like 12 people in the building. If anybody wants to ask any more questions, we're here to answer them as best as possible. Rob's not here. I would love to have him on the panel right now. He's pretty good when I have guests, but and Buck's not here either and shit, dude. So, like I said, I was gonna start the live a little bit later on tonight because we're different hour schedule. We're here in Buenos Aires. It's 6 o'clock over here, but back home it's like what 2 or 3 o'clock. So I apologize about that. Mm. Medellin needs to do what Susu is doing. Shut it down. Oh, make it more friendly. But that's the thing, though. The park used to be friendly. Like even when I first went to Medellin, like 5 years ago, the park wasn't like that. It was like nothing but families, and actually, it was nothing but students. Yo me recuerdo que el parque hace como 5 años era como estudiantes, ¿no? Cuando yo llegué era familias y estudiantes. Los estudiantes se metían en el parque para tomar. Yo me recuerdo.
Sí.
See, right? Yeah, it was like a college student hangout, bro, back in the days. And shit, dude. Ulysses, are you going to Cordoba? No, I have to leave. Oh, Argentina is too expensive, dude. I'm on a budget right now. So I'm going to go to Uruguay tomorrow. But I got like a ferry to go tomorrow to Montevideo. So I want to check that place out for a couple of days. I didn't know how expensive Argentina is, guys. It's like super, super expensive, though. Like if you eat out every day, you're spending about $50, like minimum. That's even eating cheap food, or unless you make your own food, you probably spend maybe 25, but it's still a lot of money and shit, dude. Hell of a lot of money over here, bro. I thought Rio was kind of expensive. Rio isn't shit, dude. Like Rio, the most I was spending is $15 on food because I was like, I would cook in the morning or cook mid afternoon in the morning. I would eat some breakfast somewhere, and I spent like $8, and then I would cook my own food. So it's like less than $20 a day that I was spending in Rio on food, like 15, 16, maybe like $9 eating out, and maybe like another $7 making my own food. Super cheap, man. Nothing like over here, man. Super, super expensive over here. Everywhere you go in this damn country is a lot of money. So I don't know when it's gonna get cheaper, guys. But anybody that has questions, like right now is the time to ask questions, guys. Because like I know I said I was gonna have some guests here, but that's the point of having this live. So if anybody has like any curiosity, any questions, But to answer your New England Patriots, yeah, like that park used to be friendly, family friendly. Like 5 years ago when I went, it was nothing but college students and families there. But over the last 4 years, it's changed. ¿Cuál es la ciudad más calmada de Colombia? Más segura que tú sepas. Ni una,
Medellín.
ni una.
No, Medellín.
Medellín. Yo pienso que la isla, ¿cómo se llama la isla afuera de Cartagena?
¿Cuál? San Andrés.
San Andrés.
No.
Sí, San Andrés es muy calmado. Yo conozco mucha gente, extranjeros que viven ahí, dice que están para caminar en la noche y nada pasa. I think it's the island San Andrés, bro, but that's a tourist destination. San Andrés.
O sea, a ver, es que todas ciudades son inseguras,
Yeah.
pero es depende de dónde
Yeah, I've never
camines.
heard a Colombian saying the city is safe, guys. But I think the safest place is probably just San Andrés if you go for vacation. Yo quiero decir que Cartagena, pero no sé. Alguien puso, yo creo que Barranquilla es la ciudad más segura que Medellín. Yo no sé, yo nunca he ido a Barranquilla, no conozco a nadie en Barranquilla. Barranquilla mataron a un americano hace como 3 años, pero su historia era muy curiosa, like, que él compró un edificio sin hablar el español y lo mataron después de unos meses y nunca encontraron los asesinos.
Mira, como tal, Sabaneta es uno de los municipios más seguros de Colombia.
Have I been to Rochina? Yeah, I've been over there. It was all right. Yeah, Timothy Reed. Murió en Soledad, no in Barranquilla. Oh, okay, my bad, dude. I thought it was in Barranquilla where he got deleted, man. That was like nasty what they did to him, dude. Hmm, hmm. No sé cuál es. Yo pienso que las ciudades más como pequeñas, como Manizales, Armenia, Perrera, son más como seguras, ¿no?
Bucaramanga, Boyacá,
Bucaramanga, Medellín. No, Medellín es la...
Manizales también, Montería también es muy seguro. Saliendo Quindío.
Hmm. No sé, ese hombre que mataron allá es como, like, él decidió comprar un propiedad en un barrio así peligroso y hacer un restaurante, like, americano. Like, pero no estaba pensando, ¿qué chingados es un restaurante en un barrio en Colombia? No importa de Colombia a otro país, like, no sé, like, yo pienso que no sé, like, la mujer a lo mejor de él tuvo que algo que ver con eso, porque como una mujer va a decirle a su esposo, like, compro un terreno aquí o compro haga un restaurante, es vez de sabes que vamos a moverlo, tú tienes dinero, vamos a moverlo, nos trata 5 o 4, pero qué quédate en el barrio con un hombre que tiene dinero y no nomás eso por abrir un restaurante, like, para mí no es como, like, no sé, es como un americano yendo a San Javier, viendo un restaurante mexicano ahí en el barrio, like, what the fuck, no sé. The passport bros have ruined everything. Yeah, they've ruined everything. No, I think the social media has, bro. I think social media just portrays things that's not, bro. And so people look at things and they just kind of believe everything that they see, bro. But it's not the reality of what's going on, man. It's really not. But if anybody has any more questions, bro, this is what we're here for. I don't got that much time. Like I said, my friend had to, they called her to go to work. So unfortunately, I couldn't do the live a little bit later, but we would have had like more than enough time. And maybe I could have had some guests jump on here. Um, yo no creo que mi amigo Rob le dio sus pertenencias para atrás. Lo tengo que preguntar. Y mira, por eso es que gente se va en Airbnb y esas cosas, porque imagínate si tú tienes un lugar como esto en Cali o algo así, y tú vienes y todas tus cosas están afuera y la policía te manda al carajo, like, no chingues. Y si no, nomás eso te destruye el apartamento, like, fuck that, dude.
Estos lugares son mucho más seguros, demasiado seguros, incluso mucho más seguros que un hotel.
Sí, sí, eso es lo que yo pienso, no sé, dude. Pero yo pienso que estaban echando la culpa a los extranjeros por el costo de vivienda en Medellín, pero cuando vino Bad Bunny,
sí, eso
todo lo subió,
a...
entonces todos dijeron, pues no es los turistas, es la gente que tiene los arrendes.
O sea, cuando pasó el concierto de Bad Bunny,
pero ese
sí,
quedó
fueron,
3 días, ¿no? En Medellín.
Fueron, sí,
tres días.
Más que todos los propietarios,
sí.
Porque como casi toda la gente que vino fue del exterior, entonces que dijeron, no, estos manes tienen plata, acá nos luqueamos y listo. Y obviamente así no es.
Sí, pero ya esta semana el gobierno de Medellín pasó como una ley que ya los Airbnb ya no pueden hacer eso.
¿Y qué hizo? O sea, eso fue lo bueno que hizo el alcalde, que les puso a los propietarios que subieron tanto los arriendos a investigarlos, incluso creo que les iban a colocar una multa
Yeah.
por lo mismo.
So we're talking about what happened with Bad Bunny like a month ago in Medellin. Like, you know how they're blaming like foreigners for the high cost. So when he came to Medellin, like all the Airbnbs raised their prices up the ass. And so like a lot of people were kind of like finally opened their eyes. Like a lot of the people from the city, that's what we're talking about. So this week Medellin passed like a law where the Airbnbs can't do that anymore, guys. So that's, I guess, like a good thing for the people that like to live over there. Does she think tourism will slow down? No, tourism is not going to slow down. Fool. I think a lot of content creators have sold a fantasy on that city for in that country itself, dog. So it's not going to slow down, bro. Hell no, dude. It might stop some people, but nah, there's just too many thirsty guys going over there, guys, risking their life. Somebody in the comment section said something great. It was like that river in Africa where like the zebras and the wildebeest cross. There's like about 100 like animals that cross the river, and the crocodiles maybe get like 5 or 6. That's what the country is. You're gonna have about 10,000 people that go there in a month, and maybe like 3 might get unalived or something like that. It's just the reality, guys. But I just a perfect analogy if I could keep it real. Hmm. No, Airbnb, the mayor passed a law this week where they can't raise up the prices anymore because of what happened with the Bad Bunny concert. When Bad Bunny got there, he did a 3 day concert in the city. And so the rent of the prices over there went up the ass. It was like really, really expensive. So let's say an apartment was like $50 a night, probably looking at 150, $200. So they passed like a law this week for them not to be able to do that. They're investigating some of the Airbnbs, if that makes any sense. Mm. Colombia still isn't a country built for tourism. ¿Tú piensas que Colombia todavía no es un país que es ¿cómo se dice la palabra? Agresado para turismo? Yo pienso que nomás la zona de Cartagena, pero las otras ciudades están como apenas cachando.
O sea, que no está apto para recibir
No,
turistas.
Cartagena sí, siempre Cartagena
Sí,
y tiene como 20
Cartagena
años.
sí. O sea, Medellín apenas está como que organizando en ese tema. También una ciudad que yo digo que está adaptada como a los turistas es Barranquilla.
Barranquilla. Yo nunca he escuchado de gente que va en Barranquilla. Es like, van a Medellín, van a Cali para bailar salsa. Muchas parejas, yo cuando estaba, yo tomé clases y pues yo miraba en los hostales. Muchas parejas van a Cali para la salsa. En Bogotá van con mucha gente también para negocios y eso. Pero Bogotá más para negocios. Pero las
Sí.
3 ciudades, Medellín, no, es Cartagena, Medellín, Bogotá y Cali. Bueno, Cali nomás para, no mucha gente, pero Cali yo creo que es el
Bueno, y
último.
Barranquilla más que todo es por Shakira
Sí,
o como por el estadio donde juega la selección y esas cosas.
sí,
Y por el carnaval.
sí. Carnaval, Barranquilla, sí, sí. Mm, sí, se me olvidó que Barranquilla tenía carnaval, fíjate.
Sí, o sea, Barranquilla tiene un carnaval
Sí.
súper chévere.
Sí, sí. Does anybody have any more questions, guys? Man. Es que mis amigos yo creo que están como trabajando, pero a veces se suben aquí y me preguntan cosas, pero como te digo, como lo tuve que hacer temprano, yo siempre hago mi cosa como en la noche cuando la gente está como más como tranquila. Cúcuta. Cúcuta no está la ciudad donde está la frontera, ¿no?
Sí.
Fuck that. I would never go to Cúcuta. Hell no. Esa ciudad es muy peligrosa, ¿no?
Sí, Cúcuta es caliente.
Sí, Cúcuta tiene muchos
Más que todo
venezolanos.
por las fronteras.
Yo creo que el turismo se va a bajar un poquito. Si abren Venezuela este año, mucha gente que está yendo a Medellín y Cartagena se van a ir a Venezuela. Eso es lo que yo pienso.
Sí.
Yo pienso que la mitad. Porque van a ser como una nueva aventura. Porque Venezuela está cerrado por los extranjeros por 15 años ya. No, cuando ponieron la visa, 2016, pero honestamente ya van como más de 15 años que la gente ya no va a Venezuela.
Sí, es que Venezuela ahora en el momento está muy caliente. Pero donde Venezuela ahora.
Yo pienso que van a agarrar más
puede
americanos allá
existir.
porque la gente tiene más hambre allá.
Sí.
Y por eso es que digo que Venezuela debe ser bien peligroso por los extranjeros. No sé lo que va a pasar. Yo digo que los extranjeros se van a salir del país porque Venezuela es muy peligroso o se van a quedar, no les va a importar. And shit. I don't know, guys. Like, I think Medellin or Cartagena might lose a lot of tourism if Venezuela opens. I just think, like, it's pretty much been close to us for like the last 10 years, but really 13 years, people haven't gone over there anymore. The inflation started going up there around 2011, right? But I think it's gonna be half and half. It's super expensive, anyways, dog. Like Venezuela is like really a lot of money, just like Argentina, bro. Super expensive, dog. If you think Argentina is expensive, then Caracas is gonna be a lot of money for y'all too, man. Eating out is super expensive. They use the U.S. dollar over there because their currency is too shit. Yeah.
¿Y qué piensas de acá?
¿Ah?
¿Y qué piensas de acá?
De Argentina,
Ajá.
que está muy caro.
Sí, o sea,
Está muy
Argentina
caro.
todo subió un montón.
Yes. Por eso es que yo estoy diciendo que Venezuela está caro como Argentina, porque yo tengo amigos de allá que me han dicho que like, es como like, bastante
O sea,
caro.
recién cuando yo llegué a Argentina, o sea, yo llegué pagando 32.000 pesos argentinos, que eran aproximadamente como 120.000, 150.000 colombianos. El primer mes que yo llegué, bueno, en los 6 meses normal estaba igual, pero cuando se montó mi ley, o sea, uff, eso subió una cosa
Mm.
impresionante, que cuando, imagínense que empecé a pagar, ya no eran 32, ya eran 150.000 pesos de arriendo. Ya ahora de pagar 32.000 pesos, estoy pagando 550.000 pesos argentinos de arriendo. O sea, eso es un montón.
Mm.
Una bolsa de leche costaba 800 pesos, ahora está en 1.800. O sea, es que la economía de acá está, pero bravo.
No sé si las cosas van a mejorar, no sé, like, no sé. Para mí es like, es muy como complicada la situación. Yo pienso que Medellín es como una persona me dijo, como un río que está lleno de cocodrilos en África, que pasan los 100 animales para cruzar y agarran como unos 3. Y eso es lo que es Medellín. Los extranjeros pasan como unos 10,000 por mes y ganan como unos 3. ¿Verdad? Pero
Medellín
casi
es una ciudad muy
todos los
maravillosa,
animales casi pasan, nomás ganan los 3. Que, pues,
pero Medellín es una ciudad muy chimba.
sí,
Ah, Medellín.
sí,
No hay nada como usted pasar una fiesta de las flores en Medellín,
sí,
pasar una Navidad en Medellín. Uf,
sí,
es una chimba. O sea, es
sí,
lo mejor que usted puede vivir.
sí.
Lo que es también un 31 de octubre, donde sale donde hacen la rodada de Halloween.
Ah, sí, yo estaba en Medellín por Halloween. Sí,
Ay, es muy
sí,
bacano.
sí. Pero yo creo que la última vez que yo fui para Halloween tenían como ley seca porque habían como elecciones ese fin de semana. Entonces no celebraron Halloween.
No celebraron. Pero Halloween en Medellín es una
Yeah,
locura.
sí. Se va a poner muy bien porque van a ver el mundial. Entonces los juegos que van a estar allá en Bogotá, en Medellín, en la ciudad van a estar muy... La gente van a estar en las calles celebrando, yo creo.
Va a ser un caos
Sí,
total. Medellín
sí,
se
yo
va a
creo.
volver un caos.
Sí,
Y el transporte, uff, un montón.
sí. No sé, man. Está bien. Do y'all have any more questions, guys? Because my friend has to leave in a couple of minutes, man. Like I said, I apologize for cutting it short, making it short. Uh, but things happen. It is what it is, man. But I'll definitely be doing more guests as the weeks go by. I'm not in Rio anymore. I'm in Buenos Aires. I leave like in less than 24 hours. Thank God, it's too expensive. When I come back over here, maybe one of these days I'll come back with more money because you definitely need a lot of cheddar over here, bro. And I'm just like, I don't feel like spending money here. I'm gonna stay like another 2 months in Brazil. I'm only gonna do 4 days in Uruguay, and then I go back to the south of Brazil, and then I just work my way up in Brazil. But I'm definitely not gonna. Yeah, nah, it's different, dude. Um, so why is there so much holidays? ¿Por qué hay tantos días de descanso en Colombia?
Okay.
Como días de descanso, como días de celebraciones, días de, ¿cómo se llama ese celebrón que tienen en agosto?
En agosto.
Sí, las flores o algo así, ¿cómo se llama?
Ah, pero son en junio.
¿Es junio?
En julio
¿Cómo se
empieza
llama?
la fiesta de las flores.
Sí, pero esos días, ¿por qué tienen tantos días como así?
O sea, es un patrimonio.
Sí.
Pero, o sea, los más días que se dan es como Semana Santa, que están en este momento, que es una semana de receso. La semana de julio ni en octubre dan otra semana.
Mm, eso es lo que yo pienso. Sí.
Pero no como acá.
¿Aquí no tienen días?
Acá ponen feriado por todo. Hasta si usted se ríe, colocan un feriado. O sea, acá, si un
No, pero
ejemplo,
días de descanso aquí en Argentina.
por eso. O sea, un ejemplo, hay un feriado, coloquémosle un día X que digan algo de la nacionalidad. Y entonces, si cae jueves, remueven un feriado y lo colocan el viernes. Entonces hacen un festivo largo.
Mm. Mm. Yo estoy seguro cuando ganó la Copa Mundial Argentina, la gente no fue a trabajar por una semana, te apuesto.
Sí,
¿Verdad? No fueron.
y cuando juega Argentina, o sea,
No, pero cuando ganó la
acá no
Mundial,
se,
no fueron a trabajar mucha gente por unos días, ¿verdad?
no,
Porque yo estaba mirando los videos que la gente estaba en las calles por 3 días y dije, pues la gente no, obviamente no está trabajando.
y acá no. Y acá cuando juega Argentina hay muchas ciudades que no trabajan porque juega la selección.
No, pero estoy diciendo cuando ganó el Mundial hace como 4 años,
Sí,
que la gente no fue a trabajar. Yo estaba mirando los videos por 3 días, la gente estaba, la ciudad aquí estaba.
sí, no, eso estaba un
Entonces,
caos.
la gente no estaba trabajando, obviamente. Yo no me imagino cómo dejaron la ciudad toda cagada de fucking videos, de cervezas, ¿verdad? Gente vomitando. Fuck that shit. Dude. Now we're talking about Argentina, dude. Like when they won the World Cup, like people just didn't go to work for like a whole week, man. But if Argentina goes to the final, I'll definitely come to Buenos Aires though for sure. I have some money saved up on the side, so I'll definitely come over here when they win the World Cup and do some filming. They only deal with eights and tens overseas. Nah, bro, I deal with everybody, dude. I'm an equal opportunity employer, dude. But everything is super expensive thanks to the passport bros, dude. So you could like thank them for that. Have you tried Argentina steak? No, but I tried the burgers, and the burgers are pretty good, guys. And they eat a lot of like sausages over here with sandwiches, and that's pretty good as well. And shit, but it's just super expensive over here, guys. Like I wouldn't go out of my way to come to this country. Like there's just better options, bro. But you do come over here, you're gonna spend a lot of money, guys. The people are here are not that friendly compared to other countries and shit, dude. The nightlife is okay and shit, dude. Yo creo que ya terminamos, ya te tienes que ir, ¿no? Ya son las 6.
Por eso,
Las
estoy
6.
esperando que cargue mi set.
¿Cuánto tiempo más se va a tardar?
No sé. Está todavía en 30%.
Oof. They're not that good here, bro. Saw a lot of European looking women. No, not really, bro. Argentina, like this city reminds you of like Madrid, Spain. And I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but it's exactly like Madrid, but like I think Madrid's a little bit more nicer, but super expensive, just like that. If anybody's been to Europe, it reminds you a lot of Madrid, man. Not Barcelona, but Madrid. And maybe I could throw in maybe a little bit of Prague if anybody's been to Prague, guys. But we got a couple of more minutes. If anybody has any more questions, this is the time to ask it. Yes, yes, they do, sir. Yes, they do, sir. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, man, that's just the way it is, bro. I don't take it personal no more. I don't really care, man. So people have their preferences, but I think in the north and south of Brazil, people are a lot more friendly, a lot more opener. So I'm really excited to just be going back to Brazil. But I think Rio to me is just okay for like 1 week, 2 weeks max. But I can't do no 2 months or shit like that. Hell no, I'm good, bro. I'm too old for that, man. I'm not the clubbing type, bro. It's like a party city. It's like Miami, guys. Unless you're into like Miami lifestyle, the Rio is gonna wear you out, man. But it's still a great place to visit for like a week and shit. But to live, I don't know. I think there's other better cities more relaxed. Fortaleza will be one of them. Florianopolis. It's kind of like boring, but if that's your thing, you don't care about going out. Um, you could get a nice house, not even an apartment, a house in Florianopolis for like 800-900 bucks, $1,000 for the whole month. I seen them on Airbnb. Talking about like a house, man, and shit, dude. I thought you said people aren't friendly. They're a little bit friendly, but not compared to other parts of Latin America, like Mexico or Latin or Colombia, where people ask you questions like, "Hey, where are you from?" and stuff like that. But they do have manners here, man. White, white equals money in some places. Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, bro. But I don't recommend coming over here. I guess maybe you could come over here with a girlfriend if you like, but I wouldn't come to Argentina by myself, man. It's too expensive, dude. How do I get the funds to travel for so long? I haven't been traveling for so long, bro. I was working a regular job for like almost eight, was it like 8 months? So I was not traveling for a long time. Actually, for almost the whole year, I wasn't traveling, guys. I was staying with some family in Mexico, and then when I went to the States, I was working about 7.5 months. So I went like almost like a year without traveling, like 10 months. So yeah, I've only really been traveling for 5 weeks. I got an apartment in Rio, and then I got like an apartment in Sao Paulo for like 1 week. But really, like I'm gonna have to go back home in a couple of weeks, or I'm sorry, about 6 weeks left of travel. So I'm on the funds, guys. Like I'm not rich, man. So it is what it is, man. I have to work my ass off for 8 months, man. Really were hard, bro. Like so. But thank you, anyways, for the $10. I really appreciate it, bro. Are you a digital nomad? No, I'm not a digital nomad. Hence why I was working for 10 months, a regular job back home, bro. If I was a digital nomad, you think I would be back home in Texas working like a dog? Hell no, bro. So yeah, I just give my 2 weeks notice and yeah, I'll go back. I'm getting my citizenship in Mexico, so that's one of the reasons why I left, bro, because I have to be gone. But I have to go back to Mexico in a couple of weeks, guys. So I'm not traveling that much. And Mexico doesn't really count because I have family to stay with, right? So I'm not paying no rent over there. Um, what's cracking, bro? Do you have any questions? I have my Colombian friend here. I know you know everything about Medellin, but do you have any questions? Now's the time to ask. The questions are for my friend, not for me. I don't know why people are asking me like what I do for a living. Like I work hard, bro. Like that's what I do for a living, bro. Obviously, I'm not rich. I'm not a successful person. I would not be back home working for 10 months. So that's your cue right there. I don't got that much money, right? So yeah, it was I didn't like working back home. I didn't make any friends with the coworkers. Like I don't have nothing to talk about with people. Like I can't talk about travels and stuff like that. People don't even travel. Is she an eight? She a 10? Neither, bro. She just average, I guess you could say. Does Kate have social media? Yeah, but I'm not gonna give it to because just like a close friend of mine. So people that I know like that are really close, I'm not putting them on camera and stuff like that. I decided not to because there's a lot of people that do weird shit on here, bro. But anyways, I appreciate the $10 and the other $10 from JBC. No, I don't come from Houston. I come from Lower Austin. But like I said, if anybody has any questions for my friend, I'll be more than happy to like ask her. She doesn't talk to passport bros, bro. She lives in Argentina, fool. She's over here doing going to med school and shit, bro. But I happened to meet her like over there in the country like a few years ago, bro. But she's living over here, man. But anyways, the anybody have any questions to my friend? Like yes, no. That's what I brought my guests for, so y'all can ask questions. Now's the time to get some knowledge. Yes. Ask her how Cordoba is dating wise. She doesn't live in Cordoba, bro. She lives over here by Buenos Aires, bro. But I'll ask her anyways right now. She went to the restroom and she did. And dating wise, I have no idea, bro. It's the same anywhere. I was talking to an Argentina the other day and he was telling me that the dating scene is rough over here, bro. It is rough, bro. And shit, dude. Like I said, let me see. Is Armenia cool worth visiting for? I never been to Armenia, bro. Ask her how to meet middle class Colombian women. Damn, dude. That's a good question. I'll ask my friend right now. Then. Let me see. Can you ask her to reboot some of your beliefs about Colombians in general that they all hustle like? You know what, bro? I'm not gonna ask her that because that's kind of rude, bro. Sometimes it's best not to ask her any questions, but I understand what you're going for. But I'll ask her like in a more educated way, bro. It's tragic. You know what? That's what I heard as well. The Argentina guy was telling me that the other day, like all the women over here about the money and stuff, dude. But anyway, so let me ask the first question. Ask her how to meet middle class Colombian women. I'll ask her that. Does anybody have any more questions? Let me see. Ask her how to meet middle class. I live in Miami, and the super dime I deal with is from Argentina, but it's transactional because I can't afford her. Armenia is a city in yeah, I know where Armenia is at. Armenia is like in the coffee region, bro. I think you need to realize like when it comes to like the coffee region, the people are a little bit more like how do you say it? A little bit more conservative, bro. That makes any sense, bro. Have you tried Argentina pizza? No, I have not, bro. Buck, are you gonna go to the Middle East? Nah, bro. I think I'm gonna stay low, fool. I think nobody should go to the Middle East for like a long time. Fool. I think maybe unless you go to like Morocco or Egypt, but anything up north of that, or whatever you want to call it, like Jordan, Lebanon, and shit, dude. Dubai, I would avoid it, bro. Fuck that, dude. I think they're gonna start hitting the water treatment plants and stuff like that. But I don't know what kind of person in their right mind would go to the Middle East right now. ¿A cuánto lo vas a dejar cargar?
Costa 50. Ya está en 45.
Okay.
¿Por qué?
Okay. Me preguntaron cómo puedes conocer una mujer en Colombia que es de media clase, de estrata 3, yo creo.
¿Cómo la puedes conocer?
Sí.
La de estrato 3. Es una mujer con plata, o sea, es una mujer que literalmente, o sea, no vas a llegar y la vas a conquistar solo invitándola a tomar un café. Esas mujeres se conquistan, o sea, con detalles o tratándolas bien. O sea, una mujer colombiana se enamora con respeto, que sean sinceras, que la traten bien, que la enamoren, que sean detallistas, pero sobre todo que siempre sean respetuosos.
Yo pienso que eso está muy difícil. Yo pienso que tienes que estar en ese círculo, que una persona te tiene que introducir. No lo vas a conocer así. Esa es la cosa que los americanos no entienden, que nomás ellos piensan que vas a llegar a un lugar, like, no. Tienes que hacer como tus amistades, hacer círculos, así es como las
eso
personas.
Sí es verdad.
Y tú puedes llegar y que tú vas a conocer a una persona de media clase, que eso no va a pasar. A mí me ha pasado así en países que yo conozco a gente que tiene dinero, pero es como yo tuve suerte,
¿Sabe que usted va a llegar y va a conocer una mujer de alta clase, así como así? No, eso es muy difícil. O sea, esas mujeres sí o sí te las debe presentar a alguien muy cercano. Pero así de que te la vas a encontrar en la calle, no. Puede pasar en Barranquilla, en los carnavales. ¿Por qué? Porque en Barranquilla, cuando se hacen los carnavales, es como si todo el mundo fuera de la misma clase social. O sea, todo el mundo está revuelto con todo el mundo. Con los actores, con influencers, con gente adinerada. Ahí sí se revuelve todo el mundo. Porque son supuestamente la misma clase social en ese momento.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's just like, bro, I've been saying it for a long time. Like, to meet people in that country, it's all about social network, like meeting friends, bro. Like, if you think you're gonna go over there and you're gonna meet like a woman just like that, it's a lawyer, a doctor, you might get lucky, but it's just really difficult. You have to make friendships over there, and people introduce you to their friends. Like, you might meet a guy and be like, "Oh, I'll introduce you to a girl that's a dentist or something like that." It's all about social networking yourself. That's how Colombia is. I've been saying that for years, guys. Like, it's not very easy. It's very difficult to get into that circle, man. But you can make like friends that are like, middle class. But honestly, those women prefer their own men because they have their own money and they're not in need of necessity. So that's also another thing. You have to learn the language. You have to be able to speak the language. You have to have your shit together. You can't be walking around with cargo shorts or Nike shorts. Like it's different. Like when you get like a middle class woman in any country, bro, you gotta have your shit together, bro. I've been saying that for many years, bro. I think just a lot of content creators just tell you a lie. They come over here, you get me a nice girl. Like it's not like that. It's very difficult, guys. And then with the social media, women have options now, guys. You could thank the passport bros for that too, and shit. Like we have a bad reputation in that country for like, yeah, man. Good luck, man. That's all I gotta say, bro. And shit, dude. Good luck, man. Oh, bro, you could get God anywhere, bro. Man, that's anywhere, bro. JVC, do you have any questions, bro? Buck, do you have any questions, bro? And my bad about having this live, like I said, like last minute, but shit happens, bro. And shit, dude. Most guys go over there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about networking, guys. You're gonna have to make friends with a high class people and prove that you're not a jackass. And not only that, but nobody's gonna take you serious unless you're living in the country, bro. Like, why would a girl that's like has her shit together want to go out with a dude that's there for like 1 week? So realistically, ask yourself, how long are you gonna be in the city? If you're not gonna be there for more than 6 months, 3 or 4 months, and you're just wasting your time, dude. So I hope that answers your questions. But most guys deal with poor women. Yes, they do and shit, bro. Unfortunately. But it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're only going to be there for a couple of days or a month, might as well, right? So the YouTubers ruin this country. I would say yes and no. I just think everybody has access to the social media, guys. And I think the mindset of people have been changing for the last few years, man. I think I was talking to a Mexican the other day and he told me like back in the day he could meet women in Guadalajara, but it's hard now because of the social media. It's like 5 years ago I used to get matches on these apps and not anymore. Like he said it's hard to meet friends, even guy friends in Guadalajara now. It's like, bro, just like people you want to hang out with is difficult now because people just hang around like the friends they grew up with. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the world that's becoming, man. I wish I could like give you like I don't sell false dreams, man. So I'm not gonna bullshit y'all, but yeah. But I think when it comes to Mexico, I've always met people, but like in the tourist zones. Guadalajara, I met some people as well, but I don't know. Maybe that guy just I don't know where he's hanging out at, but that's what he told me. Yeah. But if anybody has any more questions, yes, no. I only got a few minutes on here. Does Buck have a question? I know Buck's always curious about stuff. Um, but salute to you, Buck. Yeah, yeah, I agree, bro. I understand for why a lot of people wouldn't go, bro. ¿Ya te tienes que ir?
¿Por qué?
¿Ya se cargó el teléfono?
Sí, ya está en 55.
Okay. Any more questions? Yes, no. Now's the time to ask them some serious questions. Safety, gripes, concern.
Había lavado la pijama.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think it's definitely like I saw your comment about Brazil. For I agree with a yes and no, dude. But I think when I've gone to the language exchanges for, I definitely see how the Brazilian women treat us, the blacks and Latinos, bro. I seen it, bro. And I have another friend that's been there in Rio for like a month. He's Mexican. He told me he saw it as well. It's funny because I mentioned to him and he's like, yeah, bro. Like they just like I seen it, bro. Like many times, dog. I was like talking to one time and then she got like in the car with a white dude like right away. I was talking to her for 10 minutes. And then like she saw some white guy say hi to him and then just bounce in the car without even knowing him that well. It's like that's just the way that like the women are over there. Cool. They see, I guess because of what they see in Hollywood or something. It's cool though. But other cities I've gotten a lot of love, bro. Like I'll tell you one right thing. There's a lot of people that talk shit about Curitiba, but Curitiba has been the city in Brazil where it got the most love out of all the cities in Brazil. I've had so many Brazilians tell me bad shit about Curitiba, bro, that they're conceited, that they're racist, blah, 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 blah. Bro, like I met so many people there in just 3 weeks that I was there. Imagine if I was to stay 3 months, bro. Shit. I met more people in 1 week in Curitiba than I did in 6 weeks of Sao Paulo and Rio. And shit, dude, that's just being honest. Like, The only people that I had conversations with in real were the people that were selling me shit in the fucking beach. Nah, it's by American standards, bro. A burger's like $20, a sandwich like 10. You're spending about dining out is about $15 to $20, man. Super super expensive. Mm, okay, all right, I got it, I got it. But I wasn't talking about the whole country, bro. I was just talking specifically about that city and Sao Paulo, bro. So I don't know, maybe you misunderstood that. I said, dude, Kurochiba is racist, bro. You are white American, doesn't apply for others. Yeah, maybe you're right, bro. But like I said, every experience is different by anybody's standards, right? But Kurochiba for me was like whatever. I don't like the city itself, dude. I don't like the winter. I think the nightlife is not as good. The food is like not that good either. I'm not saying like it's a paradise because it's not, dude. But I'm just saying that's the treatment of people. I was like really treated really well in Kurochiba, bro. And so yeah, man, that's just like what I went through and shit, dude. But like I said, everybody's experience is different. So I'm going to like local spots, bro. I don't even know their names, bro. But I went to three different spots. I went to a spot last night and it was pretty good. It was the burger was like $20, but I'm not gonna lie, it was really delicious, bro. It reminded me of a Texas burger and shit. Really good, bro. Actually, it's like the best burger I had in all Latin America. If I could keep it real. No, I haven't tried Riz at the airport. Hmm. Yeah, I agree with this statement, bro. I've heard this, like I said, I've heard many people say bad things about that city, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, people have told me like fantastic shit because it's not true, bro. I can concur, fool, but I'm just talking about my experience, bro. Right? So yeah. What about Fortaleza? I'm hearing pretty dangerous things. I was only there for like 3 days, bro, but it seemed okay for me. I think all of Brazil is dangerous, man. Every part of Brazil is dangerous, bro. I've never heard anybody say like, you know what? They said the South is more safer, like Curitiba, Leonares, and cities like that. You know, Ulysses, you're treated well in Curitiba, that's all that matters. I've heard nothing but bad things about Curitiba. Yeah, bro, I've heard it too from many Brazilians, bro. A lot of people have told me the people that are conceited, that they ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. I've heard it. And even before I went, I was like really skeptical because of the rumors. And I only went because of a friend. I said, well, let me go meet up with my friend. And yeah, bro, it was like really like nice. I would meet people like at the bars, just chilling. People would be curious about me, like, oh, you're an American. Their eyes will light up. And so it was very easy for me to meet people in that city. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's like this for everybody, or you go over there, this is gonna happen to you. I'm just talking about my experience, bro. Like I could be treated well in one city and then go to another city and get ghosted and shit. And that's the reality that we live in, like life, bro. But like, yeah, I would say like I've had many. I've never heard of. As a matter of fact, I've never heard one Brazilian say nothing nice about that city, bro. Never anything anywhere in the South, bro. Anywhere in the South, except for Florianopolis, and that's it. But other than that, fool, like I've never heard anybody say anything positive about the South of Brazil, dude. So, but like I said, I was treated well. And Rio, it was kind of like I got ghosted a lot, ignored. I don't take it personal. It is what it is, bro. Like I understand people have busy lives, and that's it is. But I feel like Sao Paulo and Rio is just kind of like especially Sao Paulo. I don't think I'll ever go back. I was only there for the Bad Bunny concert, but if I don't have to go back to that city, I'll never go back, bro. And Rio, I think if I go back, it would just be for Carnival month. I'll stay for like a month during Carnival, but other than that, I wouldn't go by myself anymore. Shit, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have a good time, bro. Real super fun, bro. Super super fun, bro. But there's a huge ghosting scene in Rio, bro. So don't expect to go on dates or nothing like that. It is what it is, bro. But maybe you get lucky, bro. But if you do find a nice girl in Rio, fool, it could be very rewarding, bro. Trust me, dog. But if you run shit out of luck like me, don't take it personal, bro. There's other cities that you could go to in Brazil, but I don't want to give my secrets anymore because I feel like people go over there and they ruin shit, man. Like people have a habit of like I've said a lot of cities' names, but I'm not gonna say them no more. Like people are telling me on the download, don't be saying their names, bro. Like, you know what? I probably shouldn't, bro. But Passport Polly talks about one city in the north called Vila Vela. So I want to check it out in about 4 weeks from now and see if it's true. I kind of don't believe everything that he says because he is a big dude. But I want to check it out though. Billy Gringo said it's a boring city, but who cares, bro? I've been to cities where people say it's boring, and I had fun. So we'll see and shit, dude. But if anybody has any more questions for my friend, she's about to leave in a couple of minutes. You know, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true, bro. I agree, bro. I agree, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, bro. Probably going down. Mm. Yeah, Sakura's gonna do a free concert. I think I might be there, and if I go back to Rio, it's probably gonna be for the concert, just the film, and that's it, bro. But other than that, I don't have no reason to go back to Rio this year, bro. No, Rio's still Billy's still on here, bro. But he's like a busy person. I think right now he's in Colombia, or I don't know. Maybe he went back to Fortaleza. I'm not sure, bro. But yeah. But if anybody has any more questions, like I said, I apologize about doing the live kind of like early. But shit happens, whatever, bro. So I had a guest here. Not the most perfect timing, but it is what it is, bro. Like I said. But if anybody has any more questions about Colombia or Medellin, you know, no, she doesn't give no consultations. She's not a content creator, bro. But yeah. I have another guest, I think, next week from Uruguay as well. She speaks English, so it'll be a lot more easier for y'all to transition. But like I said, I don't think there's anything interesting about Uruguay, but I figured why not have another guest though? It doesn't hurt, right? So my guest next week will be from Uruguay and shit, dude. So yeah. Just have to leave. Is Oh man, I forgot about that, bro. Shit, bro. Hoy es día de Pascua.
Mm, me encanta Gloria.
Okay, well, happy Easter, everybody. From my bad, dude. I just don't even keep track. And shit, dude. But all right, guys. But I wish I could have stayed here longer. Oh no, here's Rob. Rob, do you have any questions for my Colombian friend before she leaves, bro? You could jump on the panel if you want, bro. Because I know like you're always curious and stuff like that.
El carro llega en 4 minutos.
Oh, va a llegar ya.
¿No?
My bad. So you got like 5 minutes. Like I said, my bad, guys. What's going on, Rob? You have like a couple of minutes. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I think first off, your Colombian guest. What cities are guests from?
She's from Medellin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got a question. I know there's groups of high school kids, and they're not from the lower stratus. They're probably from the middle class, maybe upper middle class, who started working together as a group and trying to bait foreigners and target them to drug them and to steal and to rob them. Is she familiar with that? What's going on as far as that goes? College kids
Está
that
preguntando
are
que hay como niños del colegio que están como en grupos robando extranjeros, que si tú has escuchado de eso.
¿Qué?
Hay niños del colegio que están como robando extranjeros, pero la gente que está yendo como a la
Sí,
universidad.
sí.
¿Sí?
Ujú.
Sí.
He escuchado mucho sobre ese tema últimamente.
She said, yeah, she's heard about it. Pero deben de ser gente del barrio, ¿no? Yo no pienso que son de gente de otra estrata.
No, obviamente no. Eso deben de ser de barrio, de comuna.
Yeah, she said that it's obviously like poor people, bro, that have got into university, so they're like linking up. Obviously, it's not higher stratus people.
well, it's not. I don't think it's just poor people. To be honest with you, I think it's a middle class, maybe upper middle class kids who probably, for whatever reasons, they work as a group and they use attractive women to bait foreigners. I know most people think it's just lower stratus alone, but it's not. I think it's middle, maybe upper middle class, but I would say definitely middle, where they actually work together as a group. It's the fastest way for them to earn monies, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I think. Pero yo pienso que son gente que nomás están como buscando por oportunidad, ¿no? Para ganar dinero muy pronto. Sí, ¿verdad?
Lastimosamente sí,
Yeah.
porque, bueno, en Colombia hay muy poquito empleo
Yeah.
y si te dan un empleo es un mal pago. Entonces buscan
She's
ganar
saying there's
plata
like
más
no jobs
rápido.
in Colombia, so even when you do get a job, even as a professional, they don't pay shit. So that's
I know, I know. Yo conozco también porque yo tengo una novia vives en el costeña, pero ella tiene trabajo, pero el problema con el trabajo, solamente tengo trabajo temporario, un proyecto, maybe 3, 4, 5 años. Después terminar el trabajo. So what I'm saying to her is, listen, I know the situation. You have these companies who hire Colombians that are educated or skilled, and then they may work for 3, 4, 5 years on a project. Once that project is over, they lay them off, which really stinks because these are people that are very skilled, you know? No, yo conozco situación porque yo tengo una novia. Ella tiene trabajo con una compañía más o menos grande. El compañía tiene la oficina en Bogotá, pero tiene otra oficina en el costa también. El problema cuando terminar el proyecto, no quiero continuar con el empleado, terminar el contrato por el empleado desempleo, ¿qué opción tiene después? So, yo entiendo, pero yo quiero preguntar,
Ganan más cuando trabajan por una empresa temporaria, ya que no te van a colocar ni en blanco, o sea que no te van a pagar ni prestaciones ni servicios, entonces obviamente una empresa va a ser mucho mejor, más favorable, no te tiene que pagar ni cesantías, ni pensión, ni salud, entonces en eso se cubre.
yeah. She said, you understand what she said?
yeah, I understand. It's crazy. No, I understand what she's saying. She's saying, they obviously have all these, responsibilities and whatever that they have to pay for it. And all of a sudden it's crazy they get laid off or whatever. No, I understand. Yo entiendo el todo, pero el problema realmente tiene maybe una porcentaje de población controle todo economía en tu país, ¿sí o no?
Sí,
Y también, por ejemplo, si tú quieres abrir un negocio importado una cosa del Asia, por ejemplo, o el China, el problema de el impuesto es
el
más o
impuesto
menos mucho.
es alto.
Claro, el impuesto es alto porque no quiero competencia en gente rica en tu país. ¿Entiendes?
I was
So es
telling her about
horrible.
you about to your apartment, how they stole your shit and you went to the police chief. I was telling her earlier, she was laughing. Oh my god.
Claro, ya. Yo tengo un apartamento en Cali, un gringo moreno robarme con otro caleño, pero estoy en otro país cuando robarme. El todo tiempo yo pienso el gringo, solo tengo problema, pero el ladrón, no me importa gringo o no gringo, el ladrón.
So he wasn't Colombian. I thought he was Colombian, bro. My bad.
Nah,
That's even worse, bro.
I know. Trust me. Listen, I'll tell you something funny. I tried calling his family in the United States, and telling them, hey man, I try to talk to be honest with you, you only have two options. Unfortunately, in Colombia, the options are very limited. They don't investigate. You can even ask her. They rarely investigate a situation. It just is what it is. You're just out of luck. Problem is, the guy that robbed me, and then left the country. And it was a very delicate situation. I had the director of the police tell me, you know what country you're in? I said, yeah, this is Colombia. He goes, no, Lucombia. So, ¿tú entiendes? Cuando yo hablo con el jefe de policía en Cali, Él habló conmigo en español. ¿Tú conoces qué país es esto? Sí, sí, Colombia. No, no, no. Locombia. Cuando él habló con Locombia, yo conozco, no tengo, they're not going to investigate. That's it. Once he told me that, this is the director of the police, I already knew I'm in trouble. So he was trying to tell me this is not Colombia, this is crazy Colombia. I was like, oh my gosh. I guess I'm just, I guess I'm just crap out of luck, you know? If the director of the police is telling me you're not in Colombia, you're in
But that's
Locombia.
what I was telling her earlier. That's why a lot of like the Colombians and even the foreigners have like through Airbnb now because like you could get compensated back because like what happened to you. Like if you do it like on the side, you could get your shit stolen. And there's like nothing they could do about it. Versus Airbnb, they could cancel the person's account and shit. So
Right. Yeah, yeah. The other thing they'll do is that they will, what they normally do is they just, that's why there's a lot of violence. Ask her. Tell her, is that why there's a lot of violence? Because there's no justice?
por
Ask her,
eso
she'll
hay
tell
mucha
you.
violencia en el país porque no hay justicia, ¿verdad? La gente se pone la justicia en sus propias manos, ¿no? Yeah, she said yes.
Exactly. Pero tú quieres conocer qué otra opción tiene. Por ejemplo, yo tengo una novia, ella costeña. Ella no conoce, tiene trabajo. Ella tiene trabajo con una compañía por 5 años. En un mes, el compañía quiere terminar 10 personas, posible ella también. ¿Qué opción tiene? Ella joven, tiene mucha experiencia. ¿Qué opción tiene? Solamente salir del país. ¿Qué otra opción tiene?
Sí, es verdad. O sea, porque muchas veces cuando estás trabajando por una temporaria, a otras empresas que te van a hacer el contrato indefinido o eh, a un término como tal, muchas veces no te lo van a aceptar porque esas temporarias son más de un rato, es como
Sí,
tal. Y se ve mucho en la costa. En Medellín
sí,
no se ve las temporarias, pero en diciembre, en la temporada de diciembre, que nada más es un
sí.
mes como tal.
Sí, claro, claro. El Medellín también. ¿Tú conoces qué diferencia de Medellín, el Costa, otra ciudad en Colombia? ¿Quieres conocer qué diferencia? El Medellín tiene mucha competencia. El
Sí.
mujeres, una mujer quiere el otro, más bonita la otra mujer. ¿Qué otra opción tiene? Solamente el físico. ¿Tú conoces por qué?
Bueno,
Real.
En Medellín está la sociedad como tal de que si una mujer no está operada, no está hecha, o sea, que si no tiene tetas, culo grande, no entras a la sociedad. Y si sos una mujer troza, o sea, sos como que, uy, esta X que, pero es eso, o sea, compiten mucho con el cuerpo.
Sí. No, yo entiendo por qué. No tiene mucha oportunidad. Solamente el físico. Cuando una persona bonito o bonita, por ejemplo, realmente es una inversión. Maybe tú ganas, tiene una persona, porque es el humano. El humano en el todo el mundo, no solamente en Colombia, quiere una mujer bonita, quiere un hombre bonito, right? Normalmente, right? If el mujer bonita, ella maybe gana plata con un novio, con trabajo, con no sé, no sabe qué, right? Muchas opciones, porque realmente no tengo mucha oportunidad.
Muchas veces en negocios contratan a mujeres bonitas porque, como dice el dicho, todo entra por los ojos.
Como el aeropuerto, ¿verdad? Que
Ajá.
uno,
O sea, si hay una mujer bonita, usted va a ingresar. Uf, mira, hay una chica linda. O hay, uy, qué mamacita. Y uno dice,
Sí,
ah,
it's like what you're saying, like it's part of the culture, like to get like hired and attracted. So when y'all go to the airport in Medellin, do you ever see an overweight woman or an attractive
right,
girl when you first go on like where the girls that sell the bottles and the colognes and all that shit? That's almost every country, not even just in Colombia, but
right.
especially in Medellin, when you like first walk in, you pass through the security like and you see like all the good looking women. So that's why like a lot of the women do that because they feel like they have to like operate themselves, get like fake ass, fake titties or whatever, so they could get ahead in life or in society in general. That's what she's saying.
So what I was asking her, just so your audience understands what I was asking her, I asked her. I said, "Listen, if I was in anybody's situation with very limited opportunities and a lack of employment opportunities, and just in general, you probably do the same thing. You would probably do the same. And actually, to be honest with you, if you're an attractive person, male or female, it opens doors for you. That's all I was asking her. I said, if that's the limited opportunities you have, why would you not take care of yourself physically, understanding that's the world we live in? Not just in Colombia, on the whole planet, right? People can obviously you could use the internet to sell yourself, right? Online. And that's another way. So it's just a reality. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, es lo que está diciendo que pues por eso es que mucha gente, como tú dijiste, que hacen eso, se afueran para estar como, seguir como adelante en esa ciudad, no importa que sea trabajo, empleo, sino
Sí,
nomás para ganar un hombre que tenga plata, ¿verdad?
sí,
En
sí,
sí,
eso pasa mucho. La verdad sí, pasa de que una mujer, si es bonita, o sea, se enamora a alguien rápido de ella y la va a sacar de pobre como tal. En cambio, si una mujer normal del común llega a alguien, o sea, si tú tienes un estándar que ahora está en pleno siglo de que la mujer operada es la que más, pues es la que más factura y la que es más linda, entonces obviamente una mujer del común no va a ingresar a esos estándares.
Sí, sí, claro. Pero realmente, por
Pero
ejemplo, ¿cómo?
yo digo que, o sea, vale más una mujer con inteligencia, con amor propio, con actitud. Eso es lo más chimba. O sea, para que una mujer operada, si de aquí a los 50 años, 60 años, todo se cae. Y a ver, una mujer operada es hueca.
Sí, sí,
Una mujer del común
claro.
es más inteligente, te va a ayudar a progresar y a salir adelante, a conseguir muchas cosas. En cambio, una mujer operada, ¿qué va a hacer? Te va a sacar y a sacar y a sacar y a sacar y a
Hasta que ya
sacar.
no se necesita, ¿no? Entonces, por eso es que miras muchos americanos que pues se quedan así, like, o extranjeros muy tristes. Pero tú sabes el tipo de mujer que tenías. Sí, no, obviamente.
Here's a question I have Yo tengo una pregunta para usted. Realmente, ¿qué mujer colombiana no quiero otro hombre colombiano? Realmente, 100%, no diferente. Por ejemplo, una mujer paisa normalmente quiere un hombre paisa, ¿sí o no? I'm asking her if a girl's Colombian, normally they want their own type. They want their own kind. For example, if you're a Paisa from Colombia or you're from Bogota, Rolo, right? There's different cultures in Colombia. Normally they want to marry their own, not just Colombian, the same culture. ¿Sí o no? Un paisa quiere casado otro paisa. Un rolo quiere casado otro rolo. ¿Sí o no?
O sea, sí, pero pasa que en Medellín hay mucho machista.
Ah,
Entonces
okay.
uno prefiere personas externas,
Ajá.
porque es como casarte y tener una relación con un machista narcisista, ¿no? Es
Sí.
mejor con una persona que te quiera, que te valore, que te acepte tal cual como eres,
Pero
que
realmente depende a edad también, ¿no?
¿qué?
Depende a edad también, porque realmente machismo o machismo
Sí,
normalmente depende
no,
a edad.
es
Cuando una
viceversa,
persona más,
o
¿cómo?
sea, es viceversa, hay mujeres también muy machistas y hombres igual.
Sí, okay. I was asking her, I said, listen, normally it depends on the part of the country you're from in Colombia. They normally want to marry their own kind. She says that, well, it depends. They prefer somebody who's got the values and everything else. The first thought process I had when she said that is it really depends on the age. So I'm going to ask her that right now. Depende a la edad también, right? O generación, porque realmente una persona joven, machismo o whatever, el mujer normalmente no tiene problema con esto. Cuando el mujer más maduro o madura, el mente de mujer cambia. Ella
Sí,
más,
¿verdad?
so depende de la edad también, porque la mujer joven, ella no me importa machismo o no machismo, ¿sí o no?
Es que ahora como tal la generación no piensa en de que, ay, es que quiero una relación sana, quiero una relación donde ruede el amor y esas cosas, no. O sea, la relación de ahora, de la generación, es si tiene plata, con ese estoy. O si tiene plata, ahí estoy. Y esa, o sea, esa es la mentalidad de ahora en día de la generación nueva.
Sí, sí.
But that's everywhere. It's
Pero,
not just a Colombian thing, bro.
yeah,
It's
go
like,
ahead.
yeah,
What were you
everywhere.
saying?
That's everywhere though. It's not just a Colombian thing, like what you just said. Like it's them. The mentality is like what they see. I think on the social media, it's like ruined like people's image. Like everybody feels like they deserve like a high value man or a high value girl without putting the work for it. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think people want something that they don't give, right? So a person that says, "Oh, I want a traditional person," but they're not traditional themselves. So it's crazy how people want to play both sides of the fence, or they want their cake and eat it too. Listen, if you're traditional, you're gonna want somebody traditional. There is no half and half, or flip flopping back and forth. It happens a lot. Sometimes you'll find people that have certain traditional values and they're liberal on the other viewpoints. So that's questionable, but yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Listen, I think you should have another show tonight, man, because it's Sunday. You're in Argentina. Maybe you do another show later on tonight for maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I'll probably keep this one on. Actually, I don't got nothing to do, and I don't feel like going out. It's too expensive.
Yeah, yeah. I heard you. I seen your video. You're in
En
Argentina.
Argentina no se ve eso.
Good.
O sea, el machismo y esas cosas. Acá mandan son las mujeres.
¿Qué?
Acá mandan son las mujeres. Acá no mandan los hombres.
No, yo lo he mirado diferente en México. Yo he mirado personalmente como las argentinas se la besan el culo a los bolillos, los, ah, los, los, los gringos de Europa.
Sí.
Aquí no los mira porque aquí no hay tantos europeos que vienen aquí, pero en México, like, yo miro personalmente como las besan el culo como si fueran dioses. A lo mejor aquí se pintan como si no son así, que yo soy independiente. Pero allá en México yo miro cómo están atrás de ellos. En serio. Mucho, mucho atrás de ellos. Y no estoy diciendo que todas las argentinas son así, pero yo lo he mirado con mis ojos. Entonces, like, a lo mejor, que no pueden tener que no puedes tener ¿cómo se dice esa palabra?
¿Cuál?
Que yo soy independiente de aquí. Pero allá ellos se están metiendo con hombres que no tienen mucho dinero allá. Los que tienen como un poquito de dinero que están en vacaciones allá y tú, no importa, nomás porque es bolío, ellos besan en el culo. So, yeah. Oh. Sí, pero ya yo lo he mirado ya en México. No sé. Pero, I don't know, man. It's different, dude. Like, I don't know. Yo pienso que el machismo existe en todas las áreas. A lo mejor los argentinos son más tranquilos, pero no sé. Like, yo no he estado bastante tiempo con ellos para decir, pero yo lo he mirado en toda Latinoamérica, en Caribe, en Brasil. Así, no sé.
Bueno, pero en Colombia sí se ve mucho
Sí,
machismo.
todo en Latinoamérica, por eso. En México lo he mirado, en Puerto Rico, en Cuba, en RD.
Sí.
Yeah. No, I was saying that machismo exists all over Latin America, bro. But she's saying it doesn't happen here in Argentina, which is, I guess, is unique. Like I said, I haven't been here long enough to come up with a conclusion and shit, dude. But yeah, that's it, dude. Yeah. Do you have any more questions, Rob? I don't know. Where you at? You like at the gym?
No, I left the gym, but I had to come look at some. The weather's really nice where I'm at here, and I'm in the Midwest. It's
Oh,
actually
okay.
pretty nice now, which is surprising. So I just left the gym because they close at 4 o'clock today because it's Easter, and I just had to run around, kind of, you know, do some stuff for my work. But yeah, I've got other questions. How long are you guys going to be on here?
¿Cuántos minutos tienes?
¿Ah?
¿Cuántos minutos tienes?
¿Cuántos minutos tengo? Por ahí hasta las 7:30.
Okay. Should have
Yeah,
about
they
30
made-
more.
Okay, 30 more. But I think what I'm going to do is I think you should have another show, man, because you want to grow
Yeah,
your
but
show.
my friend has to leave though. That's why that's why
Oh,
I
I
did the
see.
show.
I
Yeah,
got
because
you.
I
I
was
got
gonna
you.
do it at night, but they call my friend to go to
Yeah,
work.
yeah. I got other questions. Let me finish something right. Take me about a minute or two. I just got to measure something, but I do have other questions. I go ahead and take the questions from the audience. You got they're typing stuff in text, and I'll come right back.
All right, bro. Let me see. Does anybody have more questions? Some people were just asking some like off the tops questions here, bro. I couldn't answer because like I said, you have to be nice and like be respectful to guests. Like you can't ask like stupid shit, bro. Like I can't believe that dude was asking like that stuff, bro. Like I just goddamn, bro. Anyways, though, that shit deep. Entonces, like, sí, es la cosa es que las redes sociales es lo que mira la gente, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí.
O sea, y más que todo, hay algunos influencers que es lo que, o sea, dan como a conocer que si tú no tienes lipo, tú no entras al círculo social de ellos. Y o sea, es una tristeza muy grande de que solo quieran como de entrar como a ese círculo solamente solo por eso. Y no.
Okay, okay. All right. Ask her if she would date a foreigner. ¿Tú salías con un extranjero, sí o no?
¿Qué?
¿Tú salías con un extranjero, sí o no? Yes. Obviously, she's with me, right? I known her for a couple of years and shit, right? She answered that question earlier, bro. Is some cities are worse than other, bro. Like I said, like me personally, I think Medellin's dangerous, but I feel like other cities that I've been to, uh, it's a lot more insecure, bro. And shit, dude. My bad. Let me drop the link. I didn't see you, bro. Uh, yeah, my bad for I didn't see, bro. Like I said. Um, uh, mm, salute to you, Krusty Rico. Just remember, like, easy on the bad words because I'm monetizing this video.
I promise I'll do my best, sir. And if I slip up, please snatch me up and let me know, because you know me, I think bad words is regular English, so I apologize for
Oh,
that. But no, good work. I just came in here just a second ago, so I'm not fully caught up. But I see you talking about Colombia, and I just wanted to ask you, because you was asking about a question. Is this young lady from Colombia or Argentina? I got a little confused towards the end when
she's
Rob was talking.
she's from Medellin, Colombia, dude, but she lives over here
Okay.
in Argentina.
Oh, okay. That's where you at right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. One question I wanted to ask her was because I saw another Colombian content creator talking about it, and of course, you know, we've all seen lately in the algorithm in the news of Colombia restricting a lot of travelers coming into the country under suspicion of whatever. But then alongside with that is you have the airline stewardess that got deleted.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, bro.
Yeah, how
How
does she feel about that? You know what I'm saying? As a reflection, as a Colombian, that you know, how does she feel like? Is that a good representation of her country?
Hmm.
Between that, you know, it's
All right,
like
that's a good
double
question.
edged.
You probably asked like the best question all of night because people weren't
Okay.
asking like.
All right. I'm glad. I'm better
That's a
late
really
than
good
never.
question. Okay, él preguntó cómo te sientes que como mataron a el gay que era de la ruina, que tú piensas que eso se mira mal contra el país, la gente van a pensar como mala porque
El que mataron en el río.
sí,
No, fatal, o sea, fue.
porque eso se fue como, especialmente como es gay, pues se fue muy viral y no más eso por las aerolíneas comenzaron a como publicarlo en las redes sociales.
Sí, no, eso. Yo digo que eso es lo peor que pudieron haber hecho. Y bueno,
Especialmente como un gay, no chingues, like.
creo que era un
Es que esa
travesti.
comunidad es muy cerca.
Creo que era un trans.
No, era gay el hombre.
No era un trans.
No era gay. No era
No,
trans.
el que era en el río, que eso fue en el municipio de Bello. Claro, era un trans.
¿Era trans? Oh,
Sí.
ok, no sé. Yo pensaba que
Ella
era
se
gay.
llamaba Sara. Se hacía llamar Sara.
Oh, ok.
Y sí, o sea, fue una muerte demasiado terca, o sea,
Yeah,
no.
she's saying that was
Es
a
que eso no se
horrible.
le puede hacer ni siquiera ni a un animal, a
Yeah.
nadie.
Yeah,
O
she
sea,
said that's
nadie tiene.
ugly, and it's just like something that shouldn't be done to an animal. So it just like made the country like really look bad. But like I said, like the gay community is very tight in the states, bro. So that's something in Latin America. The gay community is not that tight. Not from what I've seen, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% correct. Don't quote me. But I know in America for sure, especially at the university level, they're very organized people, very tight community. So that's yeah, it's like that's a bad look.
No, you're correct. The LGBT community in the U.S. is very powerful,
Very
very
tight, bro.
strong. Absolutely, university, non-university. That they're solid. Um, and I know that they do have, whether or not they admit it, there's a large gay community in Latin America, even though they don't have the same protections like we got in the States. But then I was also wondering, and so that's good. Till I appreciate that answer. But then, in addition with that, so she doesn't think that the regular population supports the people out there that are drugging and robbing people, because from what my understanding is they don't do it just to foreigners; they do it to regular Colombians as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
but they moved away. Like I said, we are talking about that earlier when I first started the channel. Like
Hmm.
she was saying, like it's more money because like, what's the most you're gonna get from a local? Like just a cell phone and
Right.
maybe a couple of pesos. Like, so they moved on to like, it's like a network of intelligence because you got the girl, you got the getaway robber, the driver. I'm sorry, and then you got like the guy that can hack into cell phones and stuff like that. So it's like a network of organized crime, pretty much a mafia now. It's a lot of people that are involved in that. So even if like uh they rob your cell phone, they don't even have to drug you. You could be walking down the street and some like over here, for example, in Brazil and Rio, they
Hmm.
have a new thing that I noticed this year where like they rob cell phones, but what they do is like people on motorcycles be like watching in the corners in the streets. And so when somebody takes out their cell phone, they ram it up on the sidewalk. You're talking about they're on the sidewalk. And so they ram it up. They pretend like they're like delivering food for Rappi or some shit like that. Like their Rappi is a version of like DoorDash. And so like
Right.
they'll ram it up the motorcycle and they'll take your cell phone. So that's something that's happening really, really a lot over here in Brazil. Not so much in Colombia that I've seen. But that's like what we're talking about. Like they have like criminals every so often can make like new ways of robbing people. And so like the new way of Colombia is just drugging foreigners because that's where the money is at. And in Brazil, what they do now is like they do the motorcycle because it's a lot more easier to just like rush it with the motorcycle and steal your shit, your cell phone, and just get away. That's happening a lot. Like every week, I'm seeing videos of foreigners and locals getting robbed in Brazil like that.
I agree.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, can you ask her as a Colombian, what does she considering all of the scopings and druggings and robberies that's happening to foreigners, and seeing as though that foreigners seem to be the preferred victim, what is her recommendations as a Colombian? Me personally, I'm kind of like you, Ulysses. Just don't go. But
yeah.
if someone insists on going, what is her best recommendation that she would offer based on her experience for somebody to stay safe and to prevent that kind of stuff from happening to them? Because it seems like almost nothing you can do can prevent it. But I just want
Right.
to know how a Colombian thinks, how to
All
say,
right.
hey, if you're a
That's a good
foreigner, how do
question.
you protect yourself?
You asked the second best question, bro. And I'm not kissing your
Okay.
ass. Dude. People were like asking. I don't know if you saw the comments. People were saying some wild shit. I was like, oh man, like come on, man. Like, so él
Yeah.
está preguntando cómo si una persona va al país se puede estar como seguro su primer vez. ¿Qué es lo que él puede hacer para protegerse él mismo la primera vez que
Cuando
vaya
vas
como?
a la primera vez a Medellín o
Oh,
a
no, no
Bogotá.
importa de cuál ciudad sea en Colombia.
Bueno, lo primero es saber en o sea, qué localidad se va a ubicar,
Ok,
o sea, la zona.
ok.
No sacar el celular, independientemente para donde esté o donde vaya. Y asegurarse si la localidad tiene, no sé, un CAI o que rodeen de patrullas.
Que tenga edificio un portalero también, ¿no?
Ujú.
Para estar más seguro si la primera
Sí.
vez. Sí. So she's pretty much saying like the zone that you stay in, bro. Stay in Poblado, Loretes, but make sure you get like a building that has like a guard. Because I think for first times that's gonna be the most safest bet. You take care of your guard and they're gonna take care of you, you know. Um, having what they call portolero is like the street guard, the guy that's inside the building taking care of stuff. Uh, Unfortunately, not every building in Colombia has those, but like that's what she's saying. Like if it's gonna be your first time, get a building that has like a guard that has security 24/7, so you could be safe in your building. You do take somebody back there, make sure you tell the guard like, hey, you know what, this person leaves with me, and make sure they get the ID and stuff like that. Just take the extra steps to be precautions. That's what she's saying.
So stop being cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Right? You know,
yeah.
dude's trying to be cheap. It's like, okay, you gonna be cheap and you may not come home. Okay, last question I just want to ask her, and I hope this one is as thoughtful as the other. But because what I also, like I say, a lot of different stuff about Colombia has been hit my algorithm. Not a ton, but certain things I dial into. I hear that as of recent, like in the last half year or so, they've been starting to have troubles again with, because I think their civil war ended not too long ago, like maybe
Mm,
10 years ago. And I guess,
yeah.
I don't know if it's the FARC, I may not be saying the right name, but the government, because even the US has said, stay out of certain parts of Colombia because they're starting to experience that coming back again. And I want to know, how does she feel about it? What does she think it does for the country? And what advice would she give to a visitor visiting the country? Because I would like to go see some things other than Medellin, but also not to be stupid and reckless. So we just
Está
like, what is her thoughts about it?
que ya comenzó una otra guerra civil en el país y que es una persona que puede hacer que no quiere ir a las ciudades, vamos a decir que quiere ir como por el bosque, la Amazona, explorar. Hay gente que le gusta hacer eso.
Sí.
Sí. ¿Cómo puede ser como seguro? Porque ahí te pueden secuestrar, ya está muy cabrón. Hay unas zonas que el gobierno no tiene control.
Bueno,
But,
con guías. Por
yeah,
eso
yeah, she's saying to
existen,
go with guides, to go with like
por eso
certified guides.
existen
Yeah.
agencias
Yeah, there's
donde
agencies that
vas
have guides.
seguro.
That's what she's saying, that they're safe. Don't ever go like outside of like those cities. And I don't know. I would also like advise, like, man, I wouldn't go nowhere near those combat zones. Hell no, dude.
Right. Okay. But see, I don't even, like I said, a lot of Americans, we don't even know where they are because we're not from the country. And then I saw where they're talking about like near the borders of Venezuela, they're kidnapping people. So, and you talk to some of these knuckleheads in this space. Oh, I'm going. I'm like, nah, you better. Like, I'm not even going to Colombia right now. I would love to go. I think it's a beautiful country. But I just think right now it's just a little bit reckless. Like these fools talking about going to Venezuela. But if I did think of taking a trip, I want to go as informed as possible. So I appreciate what she had to offer.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of guides. There's a lot of good guides over there in Colombia. You just gotta do your due diligence, bro. There's some guys that have their own YouTube channels as well that speak English and stuff like that. And so you just do your research, hit the person with a DM, and just like see like which fits your your itinerary, because every guy does different things. So you might see a female guy that you like what she likes to do with tourists, or you might see a male guy that's like better like options for you. It just depends on you. Oh, yeah,
well, you know what? I think you got to start off. You got to start off with what your goal is first and foremost. So, if your goal is to go to Colombia and just want to learn more about their culture or more about the history, you got to be clear. A lot of these guys, they're going there trying to, they want to try to get some women. These women are not women that you can hook up with, and sleep with overnight. They don't do that kind of stuff. They still have these traditions, right? To some degree, they're traditional. So a lot of people tend to mistake the culture and everything else. They don't understand how the company operates. Now, if you're going there solely for tourism, there's more than enough guys to take you around. But if you're going there for other reasons, now you're playing with fire. And then I think the guests can probably even elaborate on that as well.
Ya, lo que está diciendo es que muchos americanos se están metiendo con mujeres que no se debe estar metiendo. Las elecciones ya se ponieron muy peligrosos. Y muchos están yendo como extranjeros están yendo como una mente de desesperadad por estar con una mujer porque están muy como sólidos en su vida. Y se van allá y pues ahí comienzan los problemas. Se los drogan y más peor porque están tan como desesperados. Que una mujer te está diciendo, mira, no tenemos que salir, vamos a tu casa. La cosa es que la gente no sabe la cultura de Colombia. ¿Quién chingado un extranjero vaya a tu casa sin conocerte? Eso no se hace en Colombia. Ni muchos países de Latinoamérica no pasa eso.
Eso en Colombia no pasa.
No,
De
it's
hecho,
like
por ejemplo, yo voy a llevar a un extraño a mi casa No, 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 eso no pasa.
Yeah.
O sea, y si pasa es porque te van a robar o te van a hacer algo. Pero obviamente en Colombia una mujer no va a llegar y te va a decir, ay, si quieres nos vamos para mi casa después de la fiesta, ¿no? Si eso pasa es porque te van a robar. O sea, si un ejemplo, ya lleva mucho tiempo hablando con esa persona y llegan a algo en concreto de que después de la rumbita y de la fiesta se van a ir a hacer algo más íntimo, ahí sí, pero no se van a la casa, se van a un hotel.
Did you understand her, Rob?
Apágala.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what she
Yeah,
said.
she's saying like people don't send people to their house without them knowing them. That's not something that happens in Colombia.
No,
But
listen, it's everybody. You know, it's like going to Africa, going to the Middle East, going to Asia. At the end of the day, people think going there. I don't know why they have sensationalized the women. Yes, the women are attractive, but they're still not. You know, the portrayal by outsiders is incorrect, right?
yeah,
And what they do is they tend to just walk up to a random woman and offer her money, not knowing her background, anything else, insulting the woman, insulting the culture. This is why they take it very personal, and I don't blame them because it happens where now they talk among each other. How do I know? My girlfriend tells me. It doesn't happen in her city because there's not a lot of foreigners. But
yeah.
if it started to occur, then they would obviously conversate about that and share the disagreements. Medellin gets a lot of the tourism in Colombia, Cartagena, Medellin, and Bogota, right?
Yeah.
So ask her if they conversate among each other about the misbehavior of foreigners.
Of course, bro. Si hay conversaciones allá en el país contra como muchos extranjeros se portan muy mal allá, ¿no?
Sí,
Sí,
bastante.
bastante. Yes, you say yes, bro. It's a real big deal over there,
Sí
bro.
se ve
Unfortunately.
mucho.
Shit, dude. But let's be honest, like the people that are getting drugged, dude, like the girls that are doing, they're all unattractive. I've yet to see like one good-looking girl that's done it. Like there've been like just low-hanging fruits that I've seen personally, and I'm like, man, dude, you went home with that?
Right. Well, no, you know what it is? It's these guys, you got to understand. A lot of these guys come from Western countries where unattractive women is probably what they pursued. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
their
yes.
country. And then they go there, they're thinking, hey, the low hanging fruit, not realizing that they they miscalculated the actions of the low hanging fruit. That's a fact. Ask her; she can tell you as well.
Ya, mira,
The
yo
track,
tengo un cuento de, yo estaba en Mérida hace como 3 años y había como un alemán en un hostal y íbamos a salir y dije, ay, yo me voy a quedar porque dos mujeres quieren ir a mi apartamento de Tinder y pues tú sabes ¿no? Cómo es allá, le dije, güey, ¿cuánto tiempo tú los conoces? No, nunca he mirado que quieren tomar y yo le dije, güey, aquí están drogando, están matando gente, like, es muy peligroso, like, no puedes hacer eso. Como es alemán, él, like, pero en Alemania tampoco no se hace esas cosas en Europa, tomando así con extranjeros así en tu casa, like, ni un país, ¿verdad? Entonces yo le dije al güey, like, dame el teléfono de tu mamá porque te van a drogar. Tú me puedes hacer caso, haz lo que te da la gana, güey. Yo tengo 3 años aquí. Eso pasó en 2022. Entonces yo le dije, mira, güey, tú no puedes hacer eso, like, que 3 mujeres quieren ir a tu apartamento. Yo le dije, tú estás feo con cojones, güey, te estoy diciendo la verdad, güey, like, ¿te crees Bad Bunny o qué chingados, qué chingados van a querer a tu apartamento? Yo dije la verdad y el güey nomás se enojó y le dije, güey, yo estoy hablando con seriamente que te van a drogar. Y lo pensó y se fue con los otros esa noche, pero a lo mejor si yo no estoy ahí, ¿qué pasa con ese güey? Lo drogan. Pero yo sé que lo iban a drogar. I'm telling you about the guy I met at a hostel 3 years ago in Medellin, German guy. He was talking to us in the group. We're about to all go drinking. He didn't want to go with us because he had 3 girls that wanted to go to his apartment and party with him. And so I started telling him how dangerous Medellin was, that they're drugging people. And towards the end, I was able to convince this guy, this German guy, to like stay with us in the group. And I'm telling her that I might have saved his life. But I was honest with the guy. I was like, bro, you're not a good looking dude, bro. And like, what kind of 3 girls just want to go drink at your house just like that? For like, this is not the city or place that this happens to. And so he ended up coming with us or whatever. But I might have saved his life, or I don't know, dude. But whatever it was, like I just think they wanted to do some harm, whatever. But that's just the unfortunate event that some guys are not used to being around women like that in many countries. And so like when I ever have like a girl, oh, the girl wants to come to my apartment, they're just thinking sex and shit like that. You know, it makes sense.
the other thing I was going to mention is a lot of these foreigners that visit, let's say, Medellin, and you want to ask her as well. In the past, maybe if you go back about 10 years, there weren't that many foreigners visiting Medellin. So they were sort of like celebrity likes. Today, that's not the case. Today, they get about a million, 1.1 million foreigners. It's that fantasy or whatever you want to call it of foreigners being celebrities in Medellin. That time is over. Ask her thoughts on it.
Sí, que antes, hace como 6 años, 7 años, los extranjeros que llegaban ahí, al principio eran como, casi miraron como gente como de alta clase, como gente de, como miras a una persona de una película, pero ya tantos extranjeros que ya la gente no los quieren ahí, o no es eso, pero like, la gente ya los mira como en mala luz, ¿no?
O sea, primero como casi no iban, uno se sorprendía y uno decía,
Sí.
ay, mira, ese no es de acá. Pero ya ahora eso es común.
Yeah.
O sea,
Yeah.
ya no es tan raro.
Yeah, it's like not a common sight anymore. It's like they don't care.
Sí, claro. Y también no solamente no tengo sentimiento por el extranjeros, realmente es una cosa normal, right? Pero cuando tú miras muchos extranjeros, tú no tienes el cultura puro paisa en Medellín. En el pasado sí, ahora no, right? I was telling her in the past, the culture in Medellin was pure paisa. That's not the case anymore. You have a mixture of international people. You got materialism. You've got everything that's infiltrated the culture. That it's no longer pure paisa culture at its best, right? Maybe you could
Yeah.
have her elaborate on that.
Ya, pues ya no tienen como una cultura 100% paisa, que ahora es como, like, ¿cómo se dice? Que tienen mixto de diferentes culturas, ya tienes la cultura de extranjeros y otras personas del país que están ahí ahorita, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Sí, ya.
O sea, como tal, los paisanos son los de Medellín, los paisas son los montañeros, los que vienen del pueblo, pero en sí se le dicen a los de Medellín, pero son todos los de Antioquia. Usted quiere ver un paisa, váyase a un pueblito, no sé, tal vez el más cerquita, puede ser San Antonio de Pereira, puede ser Yolombó. Ahí sí vas a encontrar la verdadera cultura paisa.
No, sí, pero en Medellín, pero realmente Pereira no tiene muchos extranjeros. Quindío, Armenia, paisa también, no tiene muchos extranjeros. Cerca de Pereira, en todo estado de Quindío, Risaralda, Antioquia, todo el estado del paisa. Pero realmente Medellín cambió mucho en 10 años, porque yo vivo en Medellín en 2009 a 2011 o 2012. Cuando vivo en Medellín, cuando yo vivo en Medellín, el cultura más o menos pro paisa. Ahora no, ahora mezcla con otra forma, ¿sí o no?
Sí, es verdad, tienes toda la razón. O sea, Medellín ha cambiado total. O sea, ha dado un cambio drástico.
So I said, listen, about 10 years ago, if you were a foreigner visiting Medellin, you could really experience the culture at its best, pure paisa culture. Today, it's been mixed with everything. External influences like a lot of foreigners live in Medellin. So that's changed the environment, right? Where you actually had a lot, they still got tradition, but you have a lot of external influence. You have a lot of other influences, period, that's been mixed with the culture that you don't have the pureness of the culture, the tradition and everything else. Now, what I mean by that is maybe 10 years ago, or longer, you had a better chance of finding a potential wife. I'm not saying you can't find it today, but what I am saying is there's a lot of other influences that have influenced people in general. So you're not going to get the closest version of the culture. I mean, the culture is there, but you're not going to get the good, pure version of the culture, if that makes any sense. Maybe you can elaborate on that as well,
Let,
Ulysses.
Que ya
let,
como la
let,
idea
let,
es,
let me ask a question, Ulysses, and ask her this. And I'm just curious. And I agree with you, Rod. I absolutely, because like you said, in addition to foreigners, there's also social media, the internet. So the world has gotten smaller because we've gotten more global thanks to the internet. That's the positive and a negative. But that's what I was curious about was if she could be, and I just really want her to think about and to be honest, what does a Colombian, like what is the propensity of a Colombian woman want with a foreigner? It's okay if it's finances, it's okay it's to level up, it's okay to make their life better. But do the majority of Colombian women actually desire a foreigner or a Colombian? And even if they're open to dating a foreigner, like what is the expectation? Because I think it goes back to what you said about the German guy, is that influencers and YouTubers are telling these guys that these women are just down there waiting with bated breath, dying for a foreigner to come and save them. And I don't believe that. I believe most of them, like most women of every nation, they prefer the men of their country first. And that's
Right.
okay. That's normal. But that
Están
German guy
preguntando.
got led to believe that bullshit. And that's why he was ready to go off with three people to get drugged like a dummy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. We have a responsibility to stop, not saying you, Ulysses, or you, Rod, but the people on this internet has a responsibility to stop spreading that dumb shit. I'm sorry. I won't curse again. Ah,
Está preguntando si qué es lo opuesto que una mujer de Medellín quiere estar con un extranjero. Pues yo estoy pensando por la plata, porque no hay muchas mujeres en esa ciudad que de veras quieren estar con un extranjero, a menos, como yo estoy diciendo, que es todas las redes sociales de círculos que tú conoces. Si tú estás ahí por un tiempo, por un año o 2 años, y tú tienes tus amistades de otra clase, like, tú tienes una chance de conocer una buena mujer porque ahí te puede introducir, pero si es una mujer del barrio o algo así, like, y no estás ahí por un mes o algo así, like, ¿qué interés esa mujer va a querer con un extranjero? Sinceramente, si una persona no está diciendo, mira, yo conozco a Roberto, es un dentista o es doctor, es abogado, Estados Unidos tiene su empresa, bla, 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 bla.
A ver, muchas veces también puedes conocer a una persona y enamorarte.
Sí,
O
sí,
sea, el
pero,
amor a
pero,
primera vista
pero
también
obviamente
existe.
allá es por los círculos, la gente se conoce por sus amistades.
Sí, o sea, y más que todo ahora se conocen es por redes sociales.
Sí.
Entonces pueden crear un vínculo amoroso, pero ya eso depende de como las personas y la química que tengan cuando se vean. Porque una cosa muy diferente, ustedes conversar por redes sociales, pero ya la cosa cambia cuando ya te ves face to face.
So she's saying pretty much you can find maybe like a good woman, but it just depends like how long you've been there, and also like just the atmosphere of you and the other person, man. But obviously, there's a lot of women over there that are gonna be interested in money, but just on the guy, like how he leads. Like, yo pienso que depende del hombre, si él está caminando con el bolsillo abierto, ¿verdad? Entonces va a conocer a una mujer mala. No sé, ¿verdad? La muchacha está preguntándole por dinero, que me compre su teléfono,
Ah, sí,
así,
ahí
¿verdad?
sí, obvio.
Yeah, it just depends on the guy. If he's just like leading with the wallet and shit, dude. That's the issue with a lot of guys that go to that city, bro. They definitely lead with the
Salute.
wallet.
See, the thing is, like, salute to the pedal, by the way. The thing is, if guys love Colombian women, this to go to New Jersey because there's a lot of Colombians out there, and this to go to South Florida. There's a lot of Colombians out there. The thing is, if she genuinely likes you, you should get a Colombian woman in the States. And Rico, he got his chick. I think she's El Salvadorian, but she's American. He did it the right way. I recommend guys to do this. Like
there's plenty
finding
of
a
them here. There's
yeah,
plenty of them here in the States.
finding a Latina in the States that already, you know what I'm saying, has a citizenship, knows the language, got her own business, got her own work. You know, instead of just going to these countries. But I tell brothers or not just brothers, everybody, just travelers in general, travel for the whole experience. The women should be the icing on the cake. It shouldn't be the main focus. Bro, I've been places where I didn't even spaz. I went over there, I didn't even spaz anything, but at the end of the day, I still had fun. It was time for me. Like, I went there because I just reflected, recharged, came back, and rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? It's like guys should not make women the focal point of traveling, man.
But let me say this. But I will
Yeah,
say
go
this.
ahead.
This is the only thing that gets me is like I don't discourage anybody from going overseas to find a mate. I think what happens is okay. Now, everybody on the panel has dated in the States. And we know that, okay, dating in the States require work. Yeah, you're going to work to date in the States. Absolutely. I think the problem is when you say the DR, Colombia, Brazil, wherever, you get lazy because it seems so easy. Because you lead with your wallet and you really become, they become lazy as shit. And then I'm sorry, you listen. They become lazy. But then the problem with it is, then when you start to have problems on the back end because you didn't invest anything in the relationship. Like I always tell people, the number one currency that you need for any relationship around the globe, it's not money, it's time. You have to invest time, quality time. Most guys doing this long distance back and forth, we're being lazy. They show up, they expect to be treated like a king. Oh, she ain't treat me like you ain't. It doesn't work that way anywhere. So again, we complain about all the work we have to do in the States. My issue is if you want a real, serious, legitimate relationship in Colombia, in Brazil, in DR, you're going to have to commit that same amount of work there. It's just going to be different. It's going to be a different level of work, but you still got to put in that work.
Listen, to piggyback off what you said, I think
Mhm.
I agree with you, but I think we have to be clear on a few things. Like let's just turn the tables. Let's play the devil's advocate for a second. If a person from another country moved to the U.S., wanted to date an American, whether it's male or female, let's say it's a male, a foreign male moves to the U.S., he wants to date American women. The issues he's going to have is the same issues the average American man is going to have, and then
Correct.
some. Can we at
Correct.
least agree? And then
A
some.
hundred
There,
percent.
there,
A hundred
100,
percent.
100%, 100%.
100%.
the reason why is because number one, doesn't understand American culture. If he
Hmm.
speaks the language, okay, that's great, but doesn't understand their culture.
Hmm.
Number two, uh, you said leading with the wallet. Well, we both know in the United States, the type of women you're going to date in the U.S. is going to be based on your class. If you're
Hmm.
middle class, you have a better chance dating somebody middle class or below. If you're upper middle
Correct.
class, you'll stay. That's I think that's how it is in the U.S. And
Correct.
we can
You
we
a
can
hundred
argue that
percent.
point.
A
Okay,
hundred percent.
so now take that, like knowing that those are the facts, right? Now let's take those facts and let's apply it to Colombia.
Okay.
What's the advantage you have if you don't speak the language, you don't understand the culture, but you're showing up with a strong currency, right? So
Right. Right. Correct.
you have that advantage.
Hmm.
Problem is, realistically, and we can ask the guest, all of us, to confirm it. We can ask the guest, they prefer their own kind. The only reason why they
Yes.
would step away from their own is because maybe that guy is not providing financially what the woman
Correct.
wants, or the type of lifestyle,
Right.
and not committing from that standpoint. Because let's be honest, even in the U.S., we will not commit to certain women because we understand there's a financial obligation to it.
Right, right,
Correct?
right. Yeah, I agree. I could not, I would put 10,000% on every word you said. And that's it. I agree 1,000%. I have no disagree. And that's the thing I'm saying is that when the man goes to Colombia, so far the only leverage you have as a man is your income, as opposed to I'm 5'6" and I'm portly and fat and I look like the German guy that Ulysses described. But yet the other guy is 5'11" or 6'10", fit, in shape, charismatic, handsome. It gets to a point where money isn't the end all to be all. And that's what I'm saying is I think we need to stop selling this narrative that as long as you got money, you could be fat, out of shape, you ain't got to have no charisma, you don't have to have no personality. We know the cultural differences that exist. Even if you were tall and good looking and had charisma, there are cultural differences between
Facts.
Americans and all of these countries that create hurdles that's very difficult for us to get over. So
Facts.
just having money and being good looking, you still have the cultural differences. So
Right.
Facts.
I'm just saying it's like this laziness of I show up, I got money, and I'm gonna be lazy. That doesn't work. And that's why I say for me, time, if you sit there and date a woman on the ground in Colombia for a year, even if you're not the most handsome, even if you're not the tallest. Maybe, you know how they say in the States, you can grow to love somebody. Maybe that way, if you're giving them the time, the attention, and so on and so forth, and really getting to know the person. But none of these guys are doing it. They're flying down there for the weekend, 2 weeks, doing it's
Sounds like they're in the,
insane.
it sounds like they're in the reserve, right? The military reserves.
Yes.
One
Yes.
weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year. But you know,
That's it.
I'll say this to you. You know, I mean, you hit it on the head. Here's the reality of it. Let's just not beat around the bush because I think sometimes I tend to do that as well. The reality of it is, you think living in the U.S. Let's assume you had a woman flying in, seeing you once every couple of months, whatever it is, right? And you talk to her from time to time. You think you're going to be devoted to that woman in the U.S. when you're alone most of the time? That's a reality. You think that woman that's alone? I know a guy who flies into Colombia. He's in his 40s, 30, 42, 43. He's got a 25-year-old so-called girlfriend. He thinks it's his girlfriend. I don't think so. I think it's just he's temporary. You
You
know,
know
I
it's
think it's a,
not, but go ahead.
I know, but we got to sit here and pretend. So let's just
Right.
pretend it is. So the reality of it is, we got to pretend. And he's asking me questions. Yesterday he said to me, "I wish I had some friends that could tell me how to deal with my girlfriend." I'm thinking, dude, it's not your girlfriend. I can't tell him that. But that's the first thought. I lived in Colombia for almost 7 years. You think I'm gonna sit here and talk to a guy I don't even consider a friend? Advise
Hmm.
him, which I did initially. I advised him on what to do. I said, "Hey, you might want to do A, B, and C." Never took it in consideration. I got tired of having conversations with this guy. I
Hmm.
told him, "Listen, dude, it's a transactional relationship. You show up once every 6 months, whatever that's all about. You talk to her on the phone, baby, everything else. But the reality of it is, it's a transactional relationship. She's
Correct.
25, you're 42, 43. If she was really serious about this guy, she would tell him, let's get married, let me come to the US. Not once did she make that statement to him. She never said that.
Oh,
Ma-
okay.
As matter
She don't even
matter of
want him.
fact, yeah,
She
yeah,
don't even want
100%.
him. She don't
You
even
know
want
how
him.
a woman wants you. You ask her, "Hey, listen, would you consider the U.S.?" If she says yes with no hesitation, that means she
Yes.
wants to be with you. She
Right.
wants to be with you. She's okay with it, even if you're coming in as a weekend
Right.
warrior.
But if she says
Two,
no, she don't want you.
she don't
You're
want
not
you.
the
Yeah,
one she wants.
100%. She don't
She don't
want
want
you.
you.
It's just,
Yeah.
but she'll take your resources. hundred
Yeah. She
percent.
she wants to go to the US. She don't want to go with you.
She don't want to go with you. 100%.
Yes.
Spot on. Spot
Yes.
on. It's funny. I tell my girlfriend, I said, listen, and I don't want her to come to the US.
Hmm.
She's like, you want me to come to the US? I said, listen, you want me to be honest with you? In the US, all we do is work. Okay. If
Right.
we're lucky, we go to the
Exactly.
gym and exercise and turn on Netflix. I
Work
said,
and die.
yeah. I said, what kind of a lifestyle is that? I said, in your country, you guys work to live. We live to
Hmm.
work.
Yeah.
So
And
I
and you
said
know,
to her,
like I know, all of them will come to the US because it's the land of milk and honey. So they can't tell me when they be like, they be Rico, all of them don't want to come to the US. I'm like, all the ones you dating do. Okay.
Rico,
I'm not saying all Colombians want to come to the US, but y'all date in a certain socioeconomic level. And the people
right.
in that socioeconomic level, they 1000% all want to come to the US.
for
Stop it.
Right.
opportunity, 100% for
Rico,
Yes, for
opportunity,
opportunity.
Rico,
Absolutely.
Rico.
100%.
I feel like the whole passport bros and all that. I feel like they would have better outcome with a women from Canada, Australia, or Europe,
Absolutely.
like in just dating. I feel like they
Mhm.
would have, and I'm not, saying that you can't get that with that Latinas. I'm saying based on the social economics aspect of it, you have a genuine connection if you go to Australia, Europe, or New Zealand or Canada and meet a chick from up there. And trust me, I actually know personally a dude that I used to go to school with. He ended up actually moving to Australia with this chick, married her. They got
But
kids.
one,
Black
one
dude,
tell you,
black
one,
dude.
I'll
You know
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
the number one reason why, Buck, is because the
I know why.
reality, the reality is the number one reason why they would have better outcomes is most of these guys that are going to Colombia, the DR, Brazil, the Philippines, and whatever, and developing these relationships with these girls, they can't afford to maintain them. Because, like you said, Rod, it's all transactional. They can
Right.
when you first go, you blowing money. Oh, I got 2, 3 bands. But when you get back in the States and she's constantly hitting you up with money, most of them can't afford to maintain someone in another country. The benefit to dating someone from Canada, Australia, or the other countries you mentioned, you don't have to maintain them. They make
Right.
their own
Right.
money. But
Well,
when
no.
you decide
Yeah.
to date in Colombia, Brazil, or the DR, whether she's using you, it could be a real relationship, it could be a fake relationship. You are going to pay, and you are going to pay regularly and often just to get phone calls, just to get emails, just to get text messages, just to get pics. If you don't do that, they're going to cut your ass off.
And,
It's
and,
just that simple.
and
Yeah.
Rico,
Yeah.
and not to pick on
Yeah.
Latin America too, even Africa, they play the same games. Southeast
Exactly.
Asia, Southeast Asia play the same games. So it's like I was saying, and to piggyback what you're saying, I mean, you pretty much have a better chance of meeting a girl from a developed nation, just on a genuine
It it,
connection,
it, it, it
and
it depends.
it's
It
easier.
depends.
Hold on,
It depends on
easier
the
to bring them
message.
back too, because like the whole process, it just that whole she's not asking for like money, help out my family. My dad is doing this. He's in the hospital. Can you help out? The girl from another Western country is not going to do that. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so 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 let me say this though, Buck, real quick. Listen, I think whatever the message is that Netflix or Hollywood or whatever message is being displayed to these people from Canada, Australia. Let's say I'm Black American, and let's say in Japan, right? In Japan, Black culture is cool because that's the message that's being distributed to Japanese. The young Japanese see that, they grow into adults, they become flexible to Black culture, Black American culture. So wherever they're distributing that message on Netflix, I don't know, right? However they're getting it, right? Music, Hollywood movies, wherever that message is being displayed, that's what they think Black culture is. Now, when I say Black culture, I mean whatever they see on television, whatever they hear. If it's Black women, Black men, then that American men. Now, I'm not talking about African, but Black American, right? Culture, if that's being displayed in a positive light, those countries are going to be more receptive. The younger generation, the adults. That's why when somebody said, you guys remember previously we had the discussion where you guys were trying to tier who women prefer. It's all based on whatever the message is that's displayed. If
Agreed.
Hollywood's just, if you turn on a Hollywood movie, all you see is white people and all of them are rich and all
Hmm.
of them are smiling. All of a sudden, a person in a third world country or Japan is thinking, wow, look at this. So if the message is negative, like let's take Arab culture. People don't know Arab culture. People have never
No,
been to Dubai. You know that in Dubai, they have 7-star hotels. They don't even have that in the West.
no,
Dubai has, do you guys even know that? Maximum 5 stars. They don't even have 5-star airlines. How many 5-star American airlines are you guys familiar with? Can somebody tell me one?
no.
I can't
But
think of one.
but
How
Rob,
about
what I'm thinking of, what I'm talking about in particular is it's not even like whether or not you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. My issue is when you go to certain countries, whether you go for a long distance relationship, a short term relationship, it's in these certain countries, it is purely transactional. Like you said, Colombia, again, unless, like I said, you had the benefit of living there for 7 years. Now, I'm pretty sure in the beginning it was transactional for you, but maybe over a period, after maybe year 2 or 3, it's like, oh, okay, you could have had real serious relationship because you were their boots on the ground for 2, 3 years. But
right?
these guys are not coming over there 2, 3 years at a time. So, in all throughout Latin America, every country in Latin America, as Buck said, in Africa, in Southeast Asia, you are seen as a resource. Period.
100%.
Full stop.
Good, good.
Especially if you come
Yep.
from a Western country. Now, if you come from Mexico to Colombia, maybe they'll give you grace. But I don't even think they'll give you grace if you come from Mexico. But if you say you come from the U.S., Canada, Europe, no, you are a resource. You're expected to be able to provide. That's why they're gonna drug everybody, like Ulysses said. You're seen as having more. But what I'm saying
Right.
is when you go to a country, Australia, Canada, England, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You're not, if I went to England and got a girlfriend, I don't have to worry about coming back home and every other week she calling me asking for money. But if I
Facts.
went to Colombia or Brazil or the DR and got a girlfriend, every other week she's calling me asking me for money. It just or anywhere in Africa. It's just and my thing is, can you afford that? That's what I would always tell them. It's fine to do it. Absolutely. It's cheaper, but
You,
the
you know,
way
it's,
they beg, it ain't gonna feel cheaper.
And here's here's the thing,
really
before.
quick. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
say real quick, based on what he said. Listen, I know a guy that's an Uber driver. 25% of his income, this is before taxes, goes towards his girlfriend. So
See?
if he's making 4 grand a month, he's sending her 1,000 every month. That's
That's crazy.
25%. Yeah, that's 25 now. He's 42, 43 years old. His girlfriend is 25.
And it's not
So
his girlfriend, it's his and his and his and his and his.
I don't disagree with you on that, but in his eyes, can I tell you what his response is? This is where
And
I said I'm not.
she probably got two or three other Uber drivers doing the same thing. But go ahead, tell me, Rob.
Yeah, so let me. It's an interesting scenario. He took the financial responsibility from his other friend. He's Asian. His friend's Asian. His friend's 55. He's 42. Whatever. He took the financial responsibility. She chose him because he's younger than the other guy's 55. Right? True story.
Go ahead.
So
This
she
is
chose
crazy.
him because he's 42. The other guy's 55. She chose him because he's younger, and he now took over the responsibility that the 55-year-old had. And here's the interesting part about it: he's Asian. He lives at home with his mom at 55. The
Uh,
42-year-old. He lives a different lifestyle. I don't really want to display him. Some of you guys might know the guy, so I don't really want to get into
no,
it.
but that's okay.
But
It's so believable, is what I'm saying. I
right,
don't
right.
disbelieve a word you're saying.
So this guy, I don't know what world he lives in, because look, if you got a girlfriend and she opens her life to you, you go to her house, you know everything about her, you get a good idea, you see exactly if you're going to maintain a certain lifestyle for her, it's because she wants to maintain a certain lifestyle. She wants to live in a good neighborhood. You have to realize, whether it's Medellin or any other city in Colombia, it's no different in the U.S. I don't know what you guys are in the U.S., but who wants to live in the hood? You guys know
Right.
this. The hood.
Yeah, yeah. I
No,
live in DC, so I don't live in no hood. Right.
so you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mhm.
why would she not want to level up from living in the hood to living in a better neighborhood? That's only smart.
But
You guys correct me if I'm wrong.
he's giving her three times the probably the average monthly wage in Colombia. And we know clearly that it's not her only source of income. And I don't begrudge my thing is I don't $1,000 a month is nothing to me. My thing is most of these guys that go there can't afford it is my problem. So like you sit there and say is what do I look like giving a quarter of my income to some working girl in Colombia? Are you insane? I would put up with all the hyenas and unruly women in the world in America. Guess what? When I give you half my income, I see where it's going. It's coming back on me. He's not getting the benefit of any of that $1,000 a month. And I guarantee you, he giving her money for birthdays, for Valentine's Day, for holidays, because these guys all do it. They all do it. And all they'll tell you is how pretty she is. I'm like, that's
This,
literally, that's the
this,
only thing I argued with somebody earlier today. They were talking about Dominican women. Oh, they're beautiful. And I'm like, they're also highly uneducated.
right, but
Intellectually, you can't.
Uncle, really
It,
quick.
yeah, go ahead.
When the woman's talking to you, just you. Let's take you for example. Have you ever had some of these women talk to you very sensual and very feminine, and then that just you don't know what to do? Has that happened to you?
I've had them try. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. So you're telling me you haven't been mesmerized or what do you call it? Not what's the word? Just mesmerized by that even the do we still have a guest here? Is she still
I,
here?
No,
I think
my
she left.
guest already left. I took her to the bus stop,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh,
I
okay.
think what I'll tell you is this. I'm not saying that they cannot believe me. When they on their game, they are on their game. And absolutely I understand how any man will fall for it 7 days out of the week. But I'm like, when you wake up, did you wake up? That's all.
See the thing with these chicks, like they've been running these games since they were a teenager. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yes.
so see, the thing with women is like they know how to play the game, right? And it's like, for example, you have an older guy, in his 40s, 50s, and 60s, go to this Southeast Asia or Latin America, and he falls in love. Let's just say he's coming off a divorce. He's been single for the last 5 years. He's retired. He goes to Southeast Asia, and the girl just runs a game on him. She was like, "Oh, I love you. You mean the world to me." And she will do anything. But the thing is, what she's doing is she's playing the long game, so she can have him move over there, buy property, drain his bank account. And this
Hmm.
is a daily occurrence in Thailand. You know how many European dudes that every in Thailand? I don't know if you guys watch the
Delete
Thailand news.
themselves. I
They
watch it
delete
all the time.
themselves. They literally throw themselves off the balcony and just
Hmm.
delete themselves just because they wasted their whole life savings. Because these girls run these same games. Like, for example, they'll mess with this Chinese dude that's there for 3 weeks in Thailand, give him the best GFE experience. He fall
Hmm.
in love. He go back to Denmark. Then the next week, an American dude comes over. She repeats the same process. Now that Danish dude, she's asking him for money, and he's sending her. The American dude goes back to the States. He's sending her money. She's repeating the same process. Next thing you know, she's running these games on 10 different men, and she got 10 different avenue of income coming in.
But Buck, the worst place is the Philippines because they got a channel called
Yes.
Ask Rafi. I think it's called
Mm-hmm.
Ask Rafi, Raffy. It's a Filipino guy, and he's exposing a lot of these Filipinas that are just like really like unbelievable amounts of money that they're scamming foreigners out of. And Rod, I know you asked me. I'm glad you asked me that because you know why. And I don't want you to think that like I'm superhuman or super immune to the feminine wiles of these women. The reason why I think they're less effective on me and a lot of people I know is because, believe it or not, long before I ever started traveling overseas, that happened to me in the States. You know what I'm saying? I dated extensively in the States. So I early on at an early age, I've seen how women could sit there and just play you and you fall in love, this, that, whatever. And then once it happens to you, you're supposed to carry it with you for the rest of your life. You're not supposed to be a dummy over and over and over and over and over again. So even if you sit there, like I tell my friends, I'm like, yeah, when they sit there lie to you, just shake your head, look stupid, play like you really listening and paying attention. You don't argue with them, let them believe it's working, but then you're supposed to walk away smarter than that. I'm not telling you to deny them anything. I don't have a problem with guys giving them some things. I think you should be if she's giving you her time and her attention. But what, like you said, this guy giving 25% of your income and you back in the United States and you living with your mama,
Yeah.
forgive me. There's a lot wrong with that.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely. I
and Rico, most times is so the foreign guy goes back to wherever he coming from. Most of the times, the local dudes are smashing her for free. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: a lot of people don't talk about. Colombia has like the most single motherhood in the world, bro. Like at
Yes.
90%. People
80,
talk
I think it's
about people talk
84%.
Yeah.
84%. Yeah, close, right? People talk about the American women, bro. You haven't, bro. Literally, Rico.
Yeah.
I literally went there, Colombia. Every chick I met, and I'm talking about even the regulars, they all
DR2.
got a kid. They all got a kid.
DR2.
They
DR
all got a
DR
kid.
has the same thing, and they sit there and talk about, oh, don't be no
Mm-hmm.
stepdad. I'm like, but you go
Yeah,
overseas and be a stepdad
yeah.
because everybody you with got 2, 3 kids. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a guy on YouTube. I think he's Indian from Australia. His name is Joel something, right? His girlfriend is a single mom, and I
Hey,
think
I
the
was going to
issue
ask you, has that been confirmed that his wife is a single mom? Because I know that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got
yeah.
engaged with
It's been
her.
confirmed. He posted. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's his community post. So he posted a picture of him, her, and the kid. Like
Nah,
I think they were out of the country, some
I,
other country.
I
Yeah.
got. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we get too far, y'all. Wait a minute. We gotta discuss this. We gotta discuss this. We gotta discuss this because I almost died when it came across my algorithm about a month ago. Our boy Redbeard. Did y'all see his video? His crash out video.
No.
Redbeard did a video about he's getting out of the dating game. Oh my God. I watched that video and just fell apart laughing. He went and he started calling all his subs uh Taggets, but take the T and put the F in front of it because they wouldn't buy his courses. Oh my God. Look up Redbeard because he said
That's funny.
he went, it's like a 45-minute video.
That's funny.
And he is
Yeah.
just going off because they're not buying his choruses. And now he's going into some old other business stuff. But it's hilarious. So you see, even these, he was at one point a huge Colombian dating guru. Oh,
Right.
I was building up this, and he was talking about all the money he was so it's like if you're making $10,000-$20,000 a month, why would you quit?
Right.
Who's gonna quit that's making $10,000-$20,000 a month on YouTube doing dating course? But then he's complaining about somebody go Ulysses, go find that video. I'm telling you, Red Beer Rants. Everybody knows him, the tall white guy with the red beard, but he's having he had a massive crash out about 3 weeks ago on getting out of the dating thing. And he's like, you're all a bunch of taggets, but take
you,
the T and put the F. He said it
you know
about
what
20 times. I
You know what it
died laughing.
reminds me of, Rico? Do you remember a
Uh-huh.
Fresh and Feet, Fred, when they
Yes.
stopped getting monetized, and then
Yep.
he's telling people to invest in his castle, something monthly payment, $29 a month, and he's
Correct.
crashing out on it. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, if
Correct.
you already made your money, you don't crash out. You're supposed to be a multimillionaire. Do it out of passion, and the money will follow.
Right.
But they start having these crash outs, right? He had a crash out on his show. But here, let me say this to piggyback
Mhm.
off what you said about these guys. They're making their money on YouTube. Austin Holloman's making it on YouTube. This guy Red Beard's making it on YouTube. That's how they financed their lifestyle. And by
Correct.
earning their monies in euros, pounds, dollars, or loonies, right? By
Mhm.
earning it in a stronger currency, living in a third world country, they can live a
Mhm.
lavish lifestyle. They're
Yeah.
considered upper middle class. So
Mhm.
they're dependent on YouTube and other sources to generate potential clientele, make
Mhm.
money off of ads, and so on and so forth. People don't realize that. So they're going to make it appear like they got it together. They have to. Because
But
who are you going to turn to? You're going to turn to the guy that's
right.
got it together, or the guy that
But
sits there telling you he's not got it together, but I'll help you?
But what's funny is, like you said, and you're 1,000% correct, Rob, 1,000%, because again, Red Beard Ranch and Austin alike, and the thing is I think the dating YouTube passport bro space is starting to dry up. So I think what happened is obviously the cash flows, money coming in for all of them. I think that their revenue has started to shrink. It's the I know Austin is shrunk for significantly because now like he's not in Africa anymore. I think now he's doing the Asia tour. And I'm like, why is he gone to Asia? Asia is probably cheaper because remember
Lower cost of living. Yeah,
right. He
lower cost of
complained
living.
about how expensive Africa was the whole time he was there. After he done messed over everybody, done lied to him about everything under the sun. Now he's in Malaysia, this whatever. It's cheaper. But eventually it's not. I think it's drying up. I think it dried up for Red Beard Ranch. You don't see Kid Greatness. A lot of them. I just think that if you look at it, the content, the space, BMT's crying about it, Colombia cracking down on stopping everybody coming in with 1,200 condoms. I don't know why you need 1,200 condoms to come in the country, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You,
How,
you,
how,
you, you,
hey,
you know,
Enrico, how about
let me ask you
Go ahead.
guys this. Do you think the cracking down on these YouTube channels that may or may not be passport bros? I'm gonna assume Floyd caused this ripple effect for everybody to go downhill.
I agree.
No,
He
I
had
agree.
some. I say
No, no,
he
well,
had something
I
to
think
do
it's
with
two
it.
guys. I
Yeah.
think it's three guys actually.
Yes.
I think is that one. Remember that one white guy who deleted that Colombian DJ girl?
Yes. Yes.
That plays a part.
Yes.
Floyd plays a part. Then
Yes.
also Redbeard. Redbeard is also
Pays a part.
he plays a
Yeah.
big part because he
Austin
was
plays a part. Yeah.
No. I got to give Austin. I got to defend Austin in Colombia. He wasn't in Colombia too long.
Well, but I think in the overall space, though.
No. I'm talking about. We were talking about Colombia, right?
Okay, yeah,
Austin
Colombia
was not a
also.
Austin was not a Colombia person. He was more of a
No,
Brazil
no.
person. He got in trouble in Brazil, but
Right.
he did it in Colombia. But the thing is, I'm mentioning the three guys that got, like I'm talking about, is Floyd, Redbeard, and that one dude that deleted a DJ girl. Those
Yes.
are the guys that caused they made the
In
block
Colombia.
cost anybody. Because now,
But-
Rico, what's happening is, here's the thing. You can be a law-abiding single man that's going to Medellin,
Uh-huh.
and if they find just one pack, like 4 or 5 condoms in a bag,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Sex
they can turn you
tourists.
around. Sex tourists. That's what it
They're
is.
sex tourists. Exploitation. Period.
So now it's like you got guys like, you know what I'm saying? Gaines, shout out to Gaines.
Mhm.
He says he buys his shit over there. He just
Right. And let me ask you that, Rod. They sell them over there, right?
Yeah.
You know what it is, Uncle Reek?
Right.
A
Because I'm trying to
condom
figure out,
over.
like, why they act like they don't sell them in Colombia?
Well,
My
well, no,
God.
because the cost per to a few different reasons. Number one, the cost per condom's a lot more expensive.
Okay.
You could probably get 3 for 1 there. You know what I mean? No, actually,
Whatever.
let me be honest with you guys. No, check
Uh-huh.
this out. You might even be able to get it free in the West, in the U.S. You guys know.
Okay.
You can get it for free. You
Right.
go to Colombia, you're gonna end up paying I don't know, $10. It's like literally almost $10 for a pack of 3. And
If
here's
you
the
want to
thing.
get busy, that's the cost of it. I'm sorry.
Right. But hear me out on that. Listen, I'm not trying to defend these guys.
Uh-huh.
Not only the cost, but maybe it's not as good. The quality's not as good as American-made ones. Like let's be honest. Maybe that's it as well. I
Most
couldn't.
of them, like you, Rod, they ain't got that problem.
See, the thing is, like, here's the
I'm
thing,
just
Rod.
busting your chops.
No. I 100% agree
Yeah.
with Rod.
Well,
Here's the thing. There's a low quality. I definitely agree. Some of these condoms in these third world countries can be expired. The date is out of range, and it's like you don't want to take your life.
Go to
the
Price
risk of it.
Smart. Go to Price Smart, not the corner Camaldo. Okay, because those countries have Price Smart, who is not going to be selling, outdated condoms, and you certainly don't need to show up with 1,000. So
And
for
that's a good
all the
point.
reasons we come up
Why do you
with,
need 1,000?
these guys is coming up with 1,000 condoms. Then the one guy got caught with what, about 15 dildos.
Five
Right?
You know what I think is going on,
They're
Rico?
doing
I think,
some really crazy
No,
stuff
I
in the
think what's
luggage.
going on is these guys, there's a secretive community of these guys. Like, take Floyd,
Yes.
for example. When Floyd was caught, he was caught with all this crazy stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of accusations that he was being financed by somebody and he had to provide pictures or whatever to these people that finances his trips. Now, why is that important? Because somebody's telling these guys, hey, go take a lot of condoms or do A, B, and C.
Right.
And this is
So
what
they're
you can
looking for it
expect.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
They're looking for it now. And I'm like, I'm not traveling nowhere with 1,000 condoms. That's just like, are you serious? I'm not going in the store here in America buying that many. I'm not doing it.
You got to be a sick puppy to buy that many condoms for one weekend trip. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Making fucking air balloon puppies and shit or something like that? Fucking air
I'm
animals,
also
animals and shit.
wait. But I'm laughing at the guys who's bringing the dildos and the butt plugs and like, what
Yeah.
kind of freaky dudes?
That's the
Right.
but
Because
see,
here's the thing. A lot of these dudes are lonely in the West. They
they're
watch
not
too
lonely.
much porn.
No,
Hold on.
no,
Let me finish the
fuck,
point.
they're
Let me
not
finish the point.
lonely. They're not
Let me finish the
lonely.
point.
You know what these guys are? These are
ahead.
the freaking people that started the freaking baby mama culture. That's what it is. They're just perverts. That's what they are. Straight up perverts. That's going over there and just doing the same thing that they're doing. Just like in Houston, where everybody had their little freak offs and stuff like that. That's what's going on.
That's true. But I'm just saying, to me, I'm okay. It's like, but here's the thing I wanted to say, Buck, like you said earlier, Austin did not play a part in Colombia. But what I'm saying is this global sex tourism exploitation program is not just restricted to one country. Don't think these countries don't talk to each other. So what happens in Brazil? The people there talk to the people in Colombia. They talk to the people in DR, Argentina. They talk to all these countries. So what I'm saying is, in the same way that what happened to Austin in Brazil, the Colombians and the Mexicans and the Argentinians and Dominicans all are made aware of it. They decide what they're going to do about it. Even though it didn't happen in their country, they're like, okay, we need to be on the lookout for it. The same way that when Jay Rello did what he did in Africa and that got hot in Kenya. Don't think that that didn't make its way to Latin America, because it did. It does. And these guys do things and they think, well, what I did was just me and it happened in isolation, which is why Jay Rello can't go back to the DR right now, because they still got
Rico,
that paperwork looking for him.
Rico, remember that Russian guy? You heard about the Russian guy in
Yes,
Kenya? That
yes.
was
But Vitali in the
no, no,
Philippines.
no. There's another Russian guy in Kenya. He was walking up
Oh,
to the Kenyan chicks. Pretty much, I'm talking about pretty much. He was saying like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "Nothing." Okay, you want to go come home with me later that evening? And he's filming them. Is what I'm saying? And he's filming them doing all that shit. And he got in trouble for that. Kenya
yeah,
and Ghana. And guess what? Guess what happened after this? There was a YouTube content creator. I don't know if you know it, Global CZ. He
yeah,
went
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. I know him.
He was trying to record the women.
I
Guess
don't
what
know him,
happened?
but I heard him.
Guess what? Guess what happened?
What's
He
that?
got arrested
See?
right after this. The Russian dude got in trouble because the Russian dude he was smart. He fled the country right before he got
Mhm.
arrested. Global CZ. He was, I don't know if he was paying attention, but he was recording the chicks. Guess what? He got arrested. They put
See,
Hammond in jail for like 2 days, and he made a whole YouTube
okay,
video
good.
about it.
But and the thing is, you would be foolish to think, oh, well, that's just in Kenya. That's gonna be all throughout. If the same way it made news in Kenya, don't think neighboring countries are not made aware of this, and they are not going to be on the lookout for this behavior too. And that's why I say, to me, that's why I threw Austin in there. I'll even throw Jay Rella, because all of these guys traveling overseas, they're hitting the links. And again, all these countries, they pay attention to the internet. They're watching World Star Hip Hop, The Shade Room, and whatever. And they see this content flooding back into their countries, where they're talking about what happened in Colombia, what happened in Brazil, what happened in Thailand. You know, Thailand, they're going through troubles with Indians and Russians over there. And
And
actually, I
Israelis.
believe Israelis, exactly. These other countries see this behavior and they're on the lookout for it before it comes to their country. So you go over there and let your ass be the first one to test the theory if you want to. I'm telling guys to stop it, knock it off.
Yeah,
But you're
and
right, Passport Blueprint.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
see,
mean, it
the
is
thing is, this whole thing.
is it becoming a worldwide, as you said, Rico.
But see,
Is it becoming a go ahead, passport, bro.
what I was
My
going to
bad.
say is, well, I was going to follow up with what Rico had said. It's that if you remember back when they had that guy that was busted with in the hotel with those kids, and he fled, and the mayor, he invited Interpol to Medellin, and they have an office now set up in Medellin. Now, if you know anything about Interpol, Interpol's monitoring all this stuff. And I know with that mayor, he's opened up his mouth and he had mentioned passport bros. Now, there was also another meeting that happened where he was supposed to go to the US and talk to the State Department about certain activities that were going on in his country. And I know for a fact that in that meeting, he had mentioned passport bros. So that name probably is floating around different governments right now. And don't think they ain't monitoring some of these channels.
Yeah, yeah. That's why right now you got guys like, for example, they some of these passport bros content creators, they toning down some of their their videos. It's not what it used to be like, where they used to be open about it, like P for P and all that. That's why you got guys like Redbeard retiring from the game. You see what I'm saying? Redbeard is I'm 100%. Redbeard is being watched 100%.
Well, didn't he get in trouble in Brazil for trying to do some type of
Ex
um
parties.
Yeah,
some
he
type
got in trouble. Well, I forget. If y'all find that, I'm gonna find that video about 3 weeks ago where he crashed out on the dating thing. He said it. He said he had got in trouble. I think it was Brazil. So again, like you said, everybody knows what
Is
he was
that
doing.
part of
He
your
was
something?
he was pushing pay for play. And again, like I've said 1,000 times, but all the way back years ago when I sat there and I told Austin, I said, look, y'all think because selling that prostitution is not illegal, which it isn't in a lot of these countries, but you cannot promote it. That's what's illegal. The promotion of prostitution is illegal. So the country generally know what they call is like they have sins that occur, and they say what happens in the shadows should stay in the shadows. So all these countries know that, hey, we're not going to criminalize prostitution, but we don't want it in the light. We want it in the shadows
Yes.
where gentlemen go and deal with ladies of the night, this, that, whatever. When you promote it, you're bringing it out of the shadows into the light. That's what they criminalize. They
See, Rico.
criminalize you enticing people to
Mhm.
come to their country, whether it's through the internet, whether it's through a flyer, whether you know how like you could say, "Oh, I'm club promoting or I'm party promoting. We're gonna have this party," but you have a party and you're promoting it, and it's a bunch of prostitutes. You're promoting sex. You can't do that. They can sell it, but you can't promote it. And these YouTubers like to believe because they wanted likes and views and content that, of course, what's the number one way to get likes and views on your channel? Women. What's the easiest women to get on your channel? Working women. Because regular women are not going to sit there and let you exploit them like that. Non-sex workers will not allow themselves to be exploited in any way. So anytime you see these guys with a bunch of women on their channel doing a bunch of salacious stuff, they are 1,000% sex workers because a non-sex worker woman will not allow herself in any of these countries to be exploited in a sexual manner. Fact.
See, Rico, with that, even let me tell you this. I also went to Morocco. Let me tell you this. They even got a red light, a small base red light lounges in Morocco. But
Of course.
the difference is they're not allowed to be seen out in public.
Mhm.
It's more discreet. So these countries, even legally or illegally, they don't want to be shown out in. It's the image. It's an image thing, right?
Right.
Colombia,
Absolutely.
Colombia is coming from in the 80s and 90s. They had that image of the drug cartels, and it was a bad image. They trying to clean that image up, right? But they
Mhm.
don't want this whole. They don't want to be known because this recent years. They don't want to be known as a sex tourism destination,
Of
which is
course.
why they're cracking down on it. Here's the thing: what's crazy is prostitution is legal in Colombian constitution. It's legal, right?
Sure.
But the thing is the promoting is what they're against.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, Buck. Let me tell you guys a fact. And I want you to understand. Think back to every YouTube channel, every content creator you ever seen. Anytime when guys be talking about they're with regular girls, anytime they've ever told a woman to stand up and twirl around, that's not a regular woman. That's a sex worker. Period. Period.
Sure,
Anytime.
yeah.
Anytime and every time they ever told a woman, I don't give a damn what you do. And don't ask me to start naming some of these fuck niggas who will
Yo,
sit here in your
we name
face,
names out here.
who
We
will
name
sit
names
here
out
in
here.
your face and tell you they with a regular chick, but told her to stand up and twirl around and show the camera her ass. That's a whore.
We name
Period.
names out here, Rico. We name names out
Period.
here. Go ahead, name them,
No,
man.
I'm gonna give them grace on this Easter Sunday, cause y'all know y'all seen hundreds of YouTube
Re-
channels. Oh yeah, I'm here with a regular baddie. No, you're not. You there with a whore.
Rico, can I ask you? Did you ever ask him to have her twirl around?
Hell no,
Come
no,
on.
I never have. Look. I mean, I ain't gonna say I ain't looked, but I've never asked. And I know that if she gets up and twirls, she's a whore.
Never super
Period.
chatted, Rico. Never super chatted.
I'm super chatted, yes, but never to twirl, never towards the women. A
No, I
lot of
agree.
times,
I agree.
I spent a lot of my super chat going in calling dudes names and stuff, and then they blocked me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I'm gonna make them read this. stuff like that. But it was just like, it's so cornball. It's like, dude, yes, she's a nice looking girl. And I sit there and look, I'm like, she looks like Sicario. She all tatted up, tats all on the neck. You know what I mean? You know the look, Rod. It's like, she got face and neck tattoos, and you telling me she's a regular girl? She might be a fucking Sicario. Are you serious? Knock it off. Stop. I don't have a problem with that. I'm like, if you want to party with that, that is fine. Stop selling it as something that it's not. It's not a regular girl. It's not a regular girl. And I'm like, when they down in Parquet areas with the skin tight leopard suit and some fucking Nikes or some Jordans, I'm like, dude, come on. Classy women ain't gonna be down there in no Jordans. Knock it off.
Classy women ain't gonna be in Parquet areas.
Well, that's true too, right? But they're taking this and they're packaging it and selling it to their uneducated subs as to that. See, I come down here and I get a baddie and then look you right in the face, Rod. I'm gonna look you right in the face and tell you I didn't pay nothing. You're a goddamn lie. Yes, you did pay.
Yeah, I think Rico. Let's step back for a second. Let's be honest, okay? Imagine this: you're in Washington D.C., New York, Chicago, any major city
Yes,
in the
sir.
U.S., even a small town, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this guy like Redbeard somewhere in Brazil showing you a beautiful woman, which you don't see on a daily basis in Washington D.C. They're not everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we see them every day in D.C. pick Peoria, Illinois, or something.
Okay,
but not here.
But I mean like on that level consistently, possibly, right? So
No, we see
you start
that level.
okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So let's assume that wasn't the case because a lot of these guys they don't see that consistently. You might see it, but not consistently. Then all of a sudden, this guy's displaying it like Redbeard or Austin or anybody else, like it's normal. You know what I mean? And actually, let's do this. We could even look at Floyd. Floyd's never displayed an attractive woman. It's always been somebody that looks very masculine. You guys remember he got into an argument with with the tour guide?
Yes.
You know?
Gosh.
Yeah. You remember that? We were all like, who the hell is this? You know, she looked very masculine, right? So it was really strange, but they're not like they're showing you attractive women. Some of them are, but I don't think it's a norm. You know what I mean? It's just but there was a so then these guys, my point is then these guys they see that where there's a woman that's attractive or slightly attractive, they don't see that, and then all of a sudden they don't know how to react to it. They think it's a norm. They're everywhere, and they think they have access to it as well.
Yeah, but I just don't like them selling it right. Okay, again, and I'll be honest with you. Here in DC, I tell anybody, and I'll be honest with you, Rod. I think Colombia as a country has some of the most beautiful women on the planet, but I say hands down, the U.S. will go pound for pound with Colombia. And the reason why I tell people, I say it, and I think so few people have actually traveled America. And Blueprint, you probably would know because I think you're a big traveler. My thing is, America is the most diverse country on the planet. We have every fucking thing. So I think most people end up in their bubble and they stay in a particular place and they might see only white women or only Asian women, this, that, whatever. But when you travel around America, you see some drop dead, gorgeous, some of the most beautiful women in the world all migrate to America. So I'm not saying that they're all born here, but I'm saying they're here. And you take a city like LA, New York, DC, Miami, my God, Miami will give Medellin a run for its fucking money. Most dudes can't afford it.
How about Montreal?
They can't afford Miami.
Hold up. People don't even talk about. Let's just talk about North America, right?
Yeah.
People don't even talk about Canada.
Yes.
Look,
Canada too.
Rico,
Toronto be killing.
Rico, I've been to Toronto and I've been to Montreal, right? And I've been to Colombia. Hands down, Toronto got better chicks than Colombia. Medellin, hands down. The reason why Toronto is so diverse, you will see the baddest of Indians,
yes,
Pakistani, Asian,
Malaysians,
Ethiopian, whatever, baddest, and it's
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I'm like,
and you don't get that in Colombia, because in Colombia you just get Colombians. You don't get that diversity.
You get one phenotype.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, yo, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
And I was in DC area, Prince George County,
Mm.
is it November, bro? I seen it with my own. DC got
Yeah.
some baddies. The difference is, bro, you got your income got to be on point.
Your
If
income got to be on point.
you
It's just
competing with
it's
other
simple.
guys, you competing with other guys with better
Yeah.
income. That's the thing.
And a lot of people got money. So I'm like, I see Colombia almost twice a week. I ride into the city to go to the office. I see that on the metro train. I'm like, I get on the metro, and in my 30, 45-minute ride on the metro, I see a third of Colombia riding the train, women going to work in offices.
And this is
They're
where
not
this is in
hookers.
Washington
Yeah,
D.C. or
Washington,
Washington.
D.C. No,
And
Washington, D.C. Washington,
is
D.C.
that the same in Atlanta as well?
Atlanta, I think Atlanta can be. I think Atlanta gives it a run, not quite as. I think to me, Miami's number one, hands down.
No, I think
Absolutely,
Rico,
Miami.
New York is New
But
York City.
I'm gonna give Miami the edge, and then
Yo,
I'm gonna say New
Miami.
York. I'm gonna say Miami, New York, L.A., then D.C., maybe Chicago. But I'm like, there are these major cities in America. My God, but you just gotta have your bread. That's the problem. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like you can see it, but you just can't afford it. And these women are smart.
Mhm.
They're not doing. They don't. They got their money. They're making $150,000, $160,000 a year. They got very intelligent. They have homes. They got fancy cars. So it's like, okay, I can't fuck with that. I just,
See, Rico,
that's what makes you
let me
small.
give you the stat on millionaires in the States. You know how common millionaires are in the States?
Piece of cake.
Bro, it is like one
Yeah.
in every 10 men or 10 person in the States are millionaires. So that
Right.
means 10% of the population are millionaires. The competition
We
is
in the
so
other nine,
steady.
though.
Huh?
That's the problem. We're in the other nine. That's the problem.
Yeah. The problem is you are the competition is just strife out here. It is like you competing. See, these girls here in the States, now they make their own income. They're not forced to choose or settle for a guy. They can choose the guy they truly desire. You see what I'm saying? It's like guys, maybe with more money, better personality, and all that. That's why I tell guys in this space, travel for the sake of traveling, but at the same time, work on yourself, work on your health, work on your money, and the rest will just come.
But
You know
but
what I'm
but 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 the reality of it is too is that there's somebody for everybody, no matter where you are in your
saying?
socioeconomic
Facts.
scale. So in the States, you don't have to be a millionaire. You can be like, I ain't no fucking millionaire. I make 120. Okay. My wife makes 80. I'm like, we do great. My whole point is, it's like I wasn't out there looking for nobody looking for a millionaire because I'm not a millionaire. But there are thousands of beautiful women that's well within my socioeconomic scale. I'm not trying to date a IG model. I know what she's going after. It ain't me. But I'm not going after that either. It just doesn't make any sense. So if you feel like so guys want to believe, well, I can go to Colombia and get an IG model, but you're not getting an IG model. You're getting someone who looks like an IG model. Okay. Yes, she looks like an IG model, and that's where it starts and that's where it ends. Because even if you were to date a smart, articulate, got her shit. I hate using IG models because most of them are dumb. But I would say this: a woman in America that's a good-looking woman that is willing to leverage her looks will tend to be not just good-looking, but they'll be business savvy. They'll tend to they'll get promotions on jobs that they may not deserve, but they still got a fucking job. They got a job that's making 80, 90, 100, 150,000, $200,000 a year, whether she deserves that job or not. Like, she don't deserve it, but she got it because she's good looking, but she got the fucking job. Good luck getting somebody in Colombia or Brazil that's making $1,000 or $12,000 a year, much less $100,000. You're never going to be able to find anyone in those countries ever to be on the same socioeconomic scale as you.
I,
It's just,
I, I
you
yeah,
just got to throw that completely out.
I think Rico. I think the other thing you want to be clear on is you
Mhm.
can find it, but she's not going to be attractive. Like if you're looking for an
Oh,
attractive
okay.
woman,
Hey, there you go.
you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an
Yeah.
example from personal experience. I was dating in Cali, Colombia. I was dating a woman that had her own dentist office. She was driving a $40,000 car, $40,000 Mazda in Colombia. You know the cars are expensive in
Mhm.
Colombia. She was driving a Mazda, brand new, had her own dentist office, right? Now, scale of 1 to 10. Now, I don't rate women this way, but
Right.
for us men to kind of understand looks. If you're only solely focused on physical attraction,
Mhm.
I would say she's a 6.5, 7 on a good day.
Right.
But she makes up for it in her personality. She
Yeah.
makes up for it in other ways. The reality of it is, if you're looking for a woman that earns a good living, she's not going to focus on the external looks solely because she's out there stressing out, running a
Making that money.
business, making that money. So that takes a toll on her physical, the external, and her looks and everything. Whereas
Right.
you got a woman that's just sitting around going to the gym. She's
Mhm.
attractive. All she does is go to the gym, come home, eat brunch, lunch, and everything else. She has no stress in her life. She's not going to age as much as the one that's running a dentist office.
But guess what
And
she gonna do, Rob? She's gonna age your motherfucking ass. She's gonna age you. That's the problem, which I agree. The minute you hook up with her, that baddie 9.5, 10, oh, you better get ready. Cause she finna tear them pockets up. All of a sudden, she wants fine dining, she wants this, she wants that. And I'm like, dude, that's why I always say when I go back to these guys that's coming down there, can you afford that? Because if you can't afford it, don't start it. Go down there, do your pay for play, don't even get her number, disappear. But when you're going down there trying to establish relationships, and you know that, Rod, and you know it too, all of them are looking for somebody like, okay, what foreigner is going to be my benefactor, that's going to set me up, that's going to take care of me? That's
And
what they're
that's the
looking for.
and that's the business that they have, and they have multiple benefactors. You're
Yeah.
not the only one. So it's like it's a game that they're playing because they know about this whole thing over social media, and they're just playing every freaking body. And these guys, they don't go looking for the business women like Uncle Rico was talking about. They don't look for those. It's the easy ones. It's the easy ones that you can pay for, and they're trying to establish relationship with. How you going to establish a romantic relationship with a working girl? That doesn't make any sense. You need to go look for the regular girl. They just don't seek those type of relationships. And that's where this whole thing in social media, that's all it's been. It's just been as tourism. Hasn't been actual. I mean, very few guys that I know actually met regular girls. And I know a few of them that are getting married to regular girls they met overseas. Even in Colombia, they're just regular freaking girls. But these guys talking baddies is baddies that. Okay, if they're baddies, where the rings? How come you ain't putting rings on fingers?
Facts. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Um, I feel like this shouldn't discourage guys from going overseas and finding what they're looking for. The, what are we trying to tell guys is invest in that particular country. What I mean by invest is like learning the culture, learning the language, see how it is, know how see how the people move, and you can meet. You know what I'm saying? Get a girlfriend out there first. Check out the vibe. See if it's for you or not. Just don't go after the first chick you see, and you don't even know if she's a regular pro or not. And this shouldn't discourage guys from going overseas and finding what they're looking for. At the end of the day, it's like what we're telling guys is these women overseas, like they have motive. They have motive at the end of the day. So
Yeah, but it's first and foremost, when I move overseas, that is not even really in my peripheral as the women. It's cost of living because you gotta survive down there, bro. You know, it's like me, I have my residency in Mexico. Why survivability? There's a growing expat community out there. Um, it's an easy jump between here and the United States. The cost of living is cheap, medical is cheap. Those are the essential things you need to look at. then you can start looking at, okay, women and stuff like that. Because the fact of the matter is, everybody's making their money on YouTube. Okay, all these content. Suppose this thing, the algorithm changed, and this is no longer hot. What you got now? How you survive now? You
I
may
don't-
have certain skills that you can get a job in that country if you can work things out. There's certain countries you can't work there as a foreigner. Like Thailand, you can't get a job as a foreigner unless it's an absolute need that they can't get a Thai person to do that particular job. They have to do that, and that's a lot of legwork for the employer to get you hired. But there's certain other countries in Europe where they have needs and they will hire foreigners. You know, that's what you need to look at, because if plan A don't work, you need a plan B. So what's going to happen?
And
That's
that's the
the
thing.
thing.
Passport Blueprint. It's like that's why I say, travel for the whole experience, and the women should always be the last
Uh,
priority.
yeah. Just quickly, 750 Norton. I just went over there to renew my 3 year. I have my 3 year residency card now. That's for 750 Norton. I have my 3 year there, so I'm actually still a legal resident of Mexico. I just not physically down there yet, but I'm a legal resident of Mexico.
So, Passport Blueprint. Let me ask you this: talk about, because I know you're more of a technical guy. So, talk about the technology between what is going on and between behind the scenes of what these governments are doing with these the X-source. I'm talking about Colombia and how they're communicating to each other. Go ahead.
What do you mean in terms of?
Yeah, the systems and all that. Like, so just give the viewers like what's going on, because I know
Well,
you
right,
touched on you touched on it earlier.
yeah. Well, basically, right now everybody's communicating, and I was looking at one YouTuber. He was telling me that certain people are getting their passport. Well, not the one that's getting canceled. The some countries are doing extra screening on people because the fact of the matter is that they're using AI to kind of look at your travel patterns, and some people are getting pulled over to the side and they're doing secondary screening.
Wait. That's happening when you go to Colombia, or when you get
It's
back to the
happening
States?
globally.
Okay.
It's just global. If I can find the video, I'll put it out. But right now, I'm in the middle of something right now. I'm going through a rebranding, so you won't see the name Passport Blueprint. The name's going to change to the Travel Elitist. This is going to be the new channel. So just kind of doing a rebranding right now. I'm in the middle of it. So basically, that's what's happening. Technology, everything's changing right now. Everything's getting tight as far as people traveling to different countries. They tighten up a lot of rules. So that's, you got to be careful, when you're going down to certain countries. That's why you see how Medellin, not even Medellin, all of Colombia, they're getting real tight about guys coming over to Colombia doing the sex tourism, because they don't want it. They're making changes, and you don't even know what they're putting in these computer systems and when they kick these guys out. That's the thing. That's another thing I got to worry about. When these guys come in and they get refused entry in there, what are they putting in the computers and sending back home? What are they putting in their computers so that the Homeland Security is reading when you get back home?
Uh-huh.
Keep that in mind.
Uh-huh.
So you have to be careful. That's why it's like I'm very careful with traveling. Like I said, my concern right now is me setting up the second home. My plan B is my whole thing. That's what I do on this channel. That's why I'm going to be pushing that a little bit more. That's why I'm doing the rebranding. It's going to be still the travel stuff, but we're also going to be talking a lot more about moving overseas, because of the stuff that's going on right now on the political end and everything else. But I wouldn't be like these guys right now going country to country to country. You better find your ass and find a country and stay there.
Right. Passport Blueprint, have you heard about the 10 Indian dudes that got denied to Medellin? I don't know if this was covered.
I wonder why.
It was a group of 10 Indian dudes, and they were rolling deep. They all got randomly selected. So when they got randomly selected, guess what happened? They start being searched, and guess what was found? They found like almost like hundreds of condoms.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
X toys, and guess what happened? They got turned away. They got sent back. And
again,
Rico. I don't know if he's on the panel. Rico was talking about something like this, and Rico and Peso Man was talking about something like this coming up 3 years ago. They called this shit. And look what's happening. Medellin is literally turning away travelers right now. Even you don't even have to have a record. If they find some kind of weird shit in your book bag or a luggage or whatever, they would turn your ass back.
And I've talked to some people who been through immigrations in Colombia, and it's pretty much when you go to secondary. So here's the thing, guys. The people I know that go through there, they don't have any issues. They've never been through secondary, but I'm going to tell you this right now. They're doing new screening processes to pick out people, and I'm gonna tell y'all, some of y'all gonna fit the profile to get pulled out. You know, some of y'all just gonna fit the profile, and then it's gonna pull you guys out. That's why I just pretty much say, screw it. Why go through the hassle and have something in a computer system that is gonna put a mark on my freaking whatchamacallit. I'm just not gonna go at all. So too bad for me going to Colombia.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, like, that dude is he's saying Medellin is doing this because they don't like blacks. Nah, they're doing this to everybody. The thing that's what I just mentioned, the Indian dudes. They just rejected 10 Indian dudes. And before that, there was I think he was a white dude that got denied entry to Medellin because they found all kind of X toys in his suitcase or luggage bag. So it's not being, because what they're looking at is like this X tourists. Anybody who's going there with the sole purpose of X tourists, they're being singled out. So if you go into Medellin and you got some, you know what I'm saying, some X toys or 150 condoms, whatever, yeah, you're gonna get sent back home. Yes, somebody in the chat said there was a Becky that got popped. Yes, there was a Becky that got popped because she actually had she was on the list. What's that list called?
Angel Watch list.
Yep,
she was on the Angel Watch list.
She was on that list. Not only that, but they said she was going out there with the intent of being involved with X tourism, and it was a Becky.
And keep something in mind, guys. There's a pissing match between the U.S. and Colombia because when they had the opening of this year's General Assembly for the United Nations, the president of Colombia got his visa revoked and kicked out because he went out after the assembly and he was telling, he had a big crowd and he was telling the military, do not follow illegal orders from your government. And that kind of pissed him off. So they revoked his visa and kicked him out of the country. So there's a pissing match going on right now. So there's also a geopolitical angle to this whole thing. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is these governments are cracking down. I know we like to talk about Latin America, but this is the same shit that's happening in Africa. The same issues happening in Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
The same. Think about it. People are saying, I mean, literally every day there's somebody that's getting caught up with some stuff up there in Southeast Asia with PDF activity, getting arrested and jailed. You hear about it over there in Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
They cracking down. Is what I'm saying. Back in the 90s, 80s, a lot of men from the Western countries were going over there and then being involved with PDFs, and they were being able to get away with it. But now with the recent technology, bro, they're not getting away with it. They're being caught. Hence the Floyd situation too. So,
and from what I understand, he was just transporting. He wasn't getting involved with the kids. He was just transporting. And see, this is the thing. I don't know what's the hard up of everybody want to go traveling. I just don't understand it. Travel. I gotta go travel, dude. I'm just looking for a plan B so I can just eventually get the condo set up, hopefully, and just have a second home. Some of y'all been traveling more than me, and y'all haven't even found your second home yet because you just want to go here. You haven't even done your research on places and stuff like that. I just don't get it. To me, and I'm gonna say it's time wasted because I got other things I'm working on as far as making money, but I'm mostly here in the United States to do it. Yeah, I can't be making money traveling. This YouTube thing is gonna eventually just gonna stop this traveling because y'all beating a dead horse. Because how many of these YouTubers that you see over here flexing stuff, how many of them are struggling? This stuff ain't popular like it used to be like last year. It's starting to die down.
YouTube money is drying up. YouTube money is drying up. A lot of even YouTube content creators, travel content creators, are complaining about not getting enough. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of crackdown. On top of that, you got this whole geopolitical stuff that's going on in Iran, and also the gas prices being up, the fuel costs for the airlines. I think is what I'm saying. Oh, hold on. Let me
traveling is awesome. I totally agree with you. Traveling is awesome, but the way some of this content that's being put out there, it's like it's all about them, not about the country. Because it's like, okay, you like you take a look at we'll take Austin for example. Austin, you've been to all these countries. I haven't learned anything about the country. I just know about you've been in this country. That's it. Am I lying, Ulysses? Am I lying?
I go to Uruguay like tomorrow, but I want to have a old friend that I met like a few years ago in Mexico. She's from there, but she's gonna be a guest on my live. I think maybe not Tuesday, Wednesday. So she'll talk about Uruguay. I don't find like that country exciting, but I was like, why not have like somebody talk about it? So
yeah. I don't know anything of all these content.
By the way, so I don't have to like translate. Thank God.
Yeah, like most of these travel content creators, I hear them talking to, hey, look at me, this is and that, but I don't hear nothing about countries and sites and all this other stuff. Very few of them talk about it.
I don't think there's a lot to Montevideo though, bro. But I'll still, have her talk about it and stuff like that. But just it is what it is. Like it's not like a real place where people like really are excited to go to. But I'm there, so why not just put somebody that's from there on the channel? So
yeah, I hear you, man. Well, let me bounce out, man. I gotta take care of some business. I just want to jump in here real quick, man. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy your trip, Ulysses.
All right, man. Damn. Rob, do you have anything to say? What did you think about the guest? She was pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. Yeah, I think she would have to. It's not that easy to really get into understanding the mindset of the people unless you start to delve into your personal experience. So she's not going to sit there and generalize it. You got to really really just get straight to it and ask her direct questions. And then she'll tell you from the Paisa point of view. So I thought she was good, but I don't think she's going to tell you everything she knows. Depending on the stratus they're from, they're going to tell you based on that experience from that stratus. Stratus 5 is going to have a different experience than 3, right? So,
yeah.
But she's still knowledgeable overall. And she can let you know exactly what her thoughts are, but she's going to touch on it from her personal experience, not the overall, let's say, Paisa that deals with foreigners. How often does she deal with foreigners? You know what I mean? So, it's just, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, but has to be a person that is in that world of dealing with foreigners. Like she deals with you, but, you know, I would say somebody that's out there in Parquietas that you come across who's literally come in contact with a lot of foreigners will give you even a better perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Well, my guest used to like the one I have like in a few days. Like she's been in contact with a lot of foreigners because she lived in Tulum. She was working at like at a as a receptionist at a hostel or whatever. So she's like very knowledgeable about being
That's
around a
awesome.
lot of foreigners.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think she's valuable, but I think if you can find somebody that really is in Parquilleros, that's there on a daily basis.
I'm talking about my friend from Uruguay.
Oh,
She was
okay.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're working in Mexico. Yeah. That's different.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, she's knowledgeable because obviously in Tulum's like a very popular tourist destination.
Right.
Yeah, she's dealt with like people from all over the world though. But I think it'd
Okay.
be cool. We could ask her like some questions. She speaks English, so I don't have to translate. So it'd be cool to ask her like, what did you think about certain foreigners? Like, which ones behave the worst? I know which ones she's gonna say already, but like, yeah, we could like
Right.
ask some questions. Yeah, that'd be dope.
No, that's awesome. I think that's great. It's always great to get another perspective. I really want to like get the straight answer. You know what I mean? Just like, hey man, what do you guys really think? What's what should or shouldn't happen when you visit? You really want to get into that because a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
looking at it from the other perspective, you want them to be very direct. It's like an American trying to give
yeah.
a
I think this is like be more knowledgeable because, like I said, she worked with tourists. Obviously, she worked like in a hotel and shit like that. So, hostel and stuff like that. So she has a lot of very like knowledge. But I think asking her like who behaves well, like what do you think, like who's more like actually travels to learn the culture, like and stuff like that. So I think it's like really good to like poke inside somebody's head and get to know them like very well. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it, dude. Really looking forward. And I came in a little bit late, so I wish I would have showed
Yeah,
up
it
a little bit
started
earlier.
early because my friend had to leave. They called her in for work, so unfortunately,
Right.
But I was supposed to start like my time. Like I was gonna start it actually right now. What time is it right now?
Yeah.
No, actually, I was gonna start like at 9:30, so it would have been like 7 or 6 o'clock y'all's time. Because I think I'm
Right.
ahead by 2 hours or 3 hours in Buenos Aires. I think, right? Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, I was like I'm also started because I told people I was gonna have a guest. So, but I'll definitely have my other guest here, like maybe I think Tuesday or not Wednesday, but not for sure not tomorrow because I get there late. I have to take the ferry. I got a direct ferry. It's like $100. Not too bad. Um, but I'll definitely do it if not Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. But she's more knowledgeable about being around foreigners. Obviously, Tulum's not a red light district, so they don't get that kind of like idiotic tourists. But they do get
Behavior.
some dumbass tourists though that do go on there and misbehave.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I'm looking forward to have these more often while you're on these trips.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I had this friend I known for a few years, and the other one I want to have I known her for a few years as well. I met her like in Mexico, like I said. But like I said, this one's a little bit more knowledgeable because, like I said, she's worked or had a job where she's like around tourists like every single day. So that was like her work, like to like check in guests and like shit like that. But it'd be like very knowledgeable to like ask her those. I never asked her personally because I already know how many people act stupid over there in Mexico and shit. You like, we could just ask her those questions. But I don't think Uruguay is like some place that's exciting to visit. But I want to just visit for a few days, and they told me that it's even more expensive than here. So I was like, oh god, man, it's so expensive Buenos Aires. I knew it was gonna be pricey, but not this
Do
pricey.
you have any regrets going there?
No, I don't. I like visiting new countries, so I'm here. And like next time I'll come over here, with a bigger cash, and I'll
Yeah.
definitely want to visit other cities. Like I don't want to just like next time I'll just visit Cordoba and then maybe
How,
Rosario.
how long are you there for?
I'm only here for until tomorrow. Like I said, I got here Thursday, so 4 days, and I leave. I was
Okay.
supposed to stay here another week, but it was just too much. I'm like, you know what? I'm on a budget, and I only got so much time. I got to go back to Mexico in 2 months. I was like, let me just go right back to Brazil. So I'll go to Montevideo for a few days, and then go to Brazil, and then from Brazil
Yeah.
go right back to Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should make your trips, kind of keep them down to 5 days. And then if
Yeah.
you like it, you can always come back. I don't think you should do them longer than that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like when like I'm gonna visit the south of Brazil, I'm gonna be hitting up the cities for a few days. I'm not gonna be doing no long term. Like 1 month in Rio, I look back and I should have not done the whole month. I think 2 weeks would have been good enough and shit, dude. But I
Right.
think 2 weeks, would have been good. But it is what it is, though. But I'm gonna be in the south of Brazil for about 2 weeks, visit several cities, and then I want to hit up the North Coast. There's this guy named Passport Paulie. He said there's this city called Villa Vela that's supposed to be this hidden gem for Americans. I don't know if I should believe this guy, but I want to still visit it and see what's up. I've talked to Billy Gringo. He said it's kind of like a boring city beach town, but I'm gonna hit it up
Yeah.
anyways and see what's up because supposedly he's a passport bro and he knows where like to get women, but I kind of like refuse to believe him. He's a big dude. Like,
Yeah.
and he also scams his people like 50K. I don't know if you heard about that. Oof.
No. What happened? Tell me.
Yeah, he got like supposedly some tour guide that was like he knew really well, but never met him in person in Cartagena. And he got like some foreigners to do like a group tour, and the guy ended up just like pocketing everybody's money and taking off. And supposedly he's like 50K in the hole, but supposedly he says he's gonna pay people back. But I don't know if I should believe him or not.
Wow.
I mean, but it's like you said, you've been to Colombia longer than I have. Like, how are you gonna recommend people to a guy you don't even know in person? Like, you don't know if he's legit, if he has like references. You're just gonna tell your audience to go book a trip, and then you're screwed out of 50K. That's a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, his name is Passport Paulie, but supposedly he's married now to a Venezuelan girl. So, but he never shows his wife though. He just says that she's good looking and whatever. As long as she's happy, it doesn't matter.
She's probably good looking to him.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He looks like Santa Claus. He's like 250, 300 pounds, man.
Right.
And his beard's always messed up. Like he doesn't take care of his facial. Like I mean, I don't know if I should believe him though. But he says like he puts like destinations that he said are hidden gems. I kind of like He talks about like how like when he was in Paraguay, his Tinder was blowing up. And what's the capital of Paraguay? Asunción or something like that. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Right.
I don't know if I should believe, but he does sell courses for $250, guys. If anybody wants to sign up, he said he could help you out find a wife.
Good luck on that one. Anybody that promises the world, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I already screwed his audience 50K, so I mean, like,
50K, really?
oh man, bro, yeah, bro. There was like it was like a group trip with like several like foreigners, and so like everybody put in for the pot. So I think the total came out to 50,000, including air rooms and stuff like that, like flights and all that shit.
$50,000?
Yeah, 50K.
Wow. And he how was he able to keep it?
The guy scammed. I guess like it got put into somebody's account, the scammer's account. He was Colombian and he kept all the money.
Wow.
Yeah. Dating coach hard overseas. Yeah, bro. I don't believe in either because in Brazil they have like a huge fitness culture. And so I just don't believe girls are looking at him like that, bro. Come on. Especially like in the beach towns, bro, where you have to have no shirt. And I just don't believe a girl from Brazil is looking at him at 300 pounds and is attracted to him. Like, I don't know.
Well, you know what it is. You got to sell a dream, man. You have to sell a dream.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, he sells $250 courses, bro, and like that's why I don't
people
really
pay for it.
And people are paying. Obviously, it is what it is, man. Yeah. He found his Colombian, his Venezuelan wife. Supposedly, he found her, and where did he meet her at? I think in Paraguay. Yeah, Paraguay, man. And he's traveling the world with her or whatever. That's cool for him, man. That's good. That should do. But I don't believe anybody that's like looks like him, weighs like that, and it's $250 course. Man, that's a lot of money, a lot of dreams, man.
People are paying though, right?
Yeah, of course, bro. 250, yeah.
What's he giving in return?
I guess he's telling people where to go to find a wife and shit like that, like which cities and stuff like that, and giving them advice, solid advice. I know he's an experienced traveler. He's been to like a lot of places and shit, dude. But he had like a video the other day, a few days ago, where he talks about his work experiences, and he was just talking about some crazy shit. And I don't know if he's doing it for like clicks and views, but he's like talking about like some girl tried to circumcise him. some girl in Colombia tried to set him up. He almost got drugged, like just a bunch of shit. And I'm like, man, I'm supposed to pay this guy $250 for all this dumb shit. I was like, man, I sent him an email. I was trying to collab with him like a week ago, and he never responded. So I'm like, whatever. But
That's
I know that he
incredible.
came out on the other guy's channel, the one from Paraguay. I forget his name. My bad. I can't think of his name. But he came out on his channel. But I'm very skeptical on him. Like I just like, dude. I don't like. To me, it's like, how long were you dating your wife? How long did you know her? What's her background? What was she doing before you met her? Was she selling cat on the side? Because a lot of these Venezuelan women sell box on the side. A lot of them. And shit. You'd be surprised. But I mean, what? He's not in a Bible kick. He argued for me, telling me that I'm a commie and homo. Holy shit. Let's face it. Some brothers are so desperate, but none of us want to admit it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, these people are desperate. They're paid $250 for his course. But I mean, obviously, he's went viral. So a lot of people are going to fucking believe him, unfortunately. But whatever, man. That's his niche, though, dating coach. So, but I mean, man, I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys that look like him that really like believe that, the fantasy, though, unfortunately. So, that women are independent. Yeah, those coffee girls by the train station are Venezuelans trafficked by gangs. The videos of their interviews are feeding this fantasy that women are independent, bro. I don't know, dude. I have, like I said, I have another guest like in another couple of days, most likely Tuesday and Wednesday. But this one, at least, she speaks English, and she's well traveled as well. Man. She's a chef too, man. You know what pissed me off? I got an Airbnb that doesn't even have a kitchen. It has like something like a microwave, and she was supposed to cook me some food. So I'm kind of like pissed off, man. I was like, shit, man. It's already too late for me to like get the money back. But I was like, man, I was looking for some home cooked meals because that's her job, man. She's a really good cook. So I was like, man, fuck. Oh man. But after that, I'm on God's good graces. If I could get girls on the channel, I'll do it. Maybe let's do some interviews by the beach. I think maybe I could get a few, man. But like I said, my Portuguese is messed up. I go to Uruguay just for 4 days. After Thursday, I take off to Porto Alegre to visit an old friend. And then from there, I go to the Florianopolis and Curitiba. But we'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, I'll be visiting some cities in Brazil, interior as well. I haven't gone to the interior yet, but I want to go to Bello and Joviana. And then if I have time, I might hit up Manaus and then Amazonas, but I'm not sure. But I'm definitely going to visit a bunch of different cities, though. I just don't want to be like in Rio anymore. I'm just kind of like over it, bro. It's just like such a disaster for me, man.
Why is that?
I kind of feel like it was hard to go out with people. Like people would just flake a lot on you, man. They say Colombia people flake, but nah. Like when it comes to Colombia, not trying to sound cocky, I've always had my girls come through most of the time. But I have been flaked on in Medellin before. But not like over there, man. It was just like super bad and real. And as a matter of fact, I even had girls that would hit me up and be like, "Oh, like you're here, let's go out." And then I would hit them up, and they just like don't come through, or they don't even answer your message. So I was kind of like,
why do you think that is?
Oh, because they got options. They go look at the guy that's gonna take them to the most expensive dinner. Like one of the girls even messaged me when I posted that I was leaving. She's like, "Oh, I didn't get to hang out with you." I'm like, "Bro, I texted you and shit, like, and you didn't answer." She's like, "Oh, you did." But I had seen her status that she went to like a nice dinner, and I was thinking to myself, she was talking about like, oh, we could have gone to a museum. And I'm like, bro, you think I went to fucking Rio to go to the museum?
Right.
Not only that, but it's just kind of like, I just kind of felt like it was an insult to my intelligence because I saw her status, bro. I got eyes. I saw that you went to like a nice restaurant and some guy buy you some jewelry or some shit. I didn't want to say nothing and shit because that's her business, bro. Like, I don't really give a damn. But at the same time, it's like, bro, come on. You know that I'm not going to Rio to go to no damn museum, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if it was Egypt, I get it. Yeah. Shit, you know, or Europe or somewhere that has like a lot of history. But come on, man, Rio.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Oh, she has options though, bro. That's it is. Like she's going out with another guy, and that's cool because I'm not even talking to her like that. We're just like friends. Yeah. We don't see each other like that. But like I said, like women nowadays have options. I got another Mexican that's there in Rio for 3 weeks. And he's telling me he's been getting ghosted a lot. And he's like, bro, I haven't had one date and I've been here for 3 weeks. I was like, whoa, welcome to the club.
No shit.
Yeah, that's why I tell people I went to the language exchange and like, man, it was tough, bro. Like, unless you're like a white dude with blonde hair, blue eyes, they'll blow you off, man. I mean, they'll talk to you, but they're just like, you're not their preference.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just whoever's willing to take them out to the nicest place, dude.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like when they see a white guy, they assume like the white person has money, even though he could be a backpacker staying at a hostel with flip flop.
Right.
They assume because of what they see on Netflix and Hollywood
Yeah,
that
of
the guy's
course.
associated with money. So
Right.
even if they see a black guy or Asian or Latino,
Yeah.
you might have more money than that guy, but they don't think that because of what they see in the Hollywood. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. I'm with you. I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But then again, if they've got a full-time job as well, they don't have. They're going to be tired, dude. Come on, man. You know, I'll give you an example. My girlfriend gets up at 6 in the morning to start work at 8. Right? She got to prepare everything. She goes to work 8 o'clock. She gets off at 6. When she gets off at 6, she's got to go home, let her dogs out, whatever. Right? There's a routine they have. They want to try to squeeze in a workout at the gym if they're lucky. Then on the weekend, Sundays are a relaxing day for them. They don't want to go out and meet a guy. You know what I mean? It's very you got to really you got to be realistic. That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah. No, I was
That's the
with you,
reality.
in Sao Paulo and Rio, man. Like if you're like a white dude, man, like I said from Europe, man, you're gonna do very good. It's almost impossible. But I feel like honestly, like, it's not to complain, but I feel like the other cities that I've been to been good. Like, for example, I was talking to one of my subs right here. He's probably still on here. Like, Curitiba has a bad reputation for being racist. And like, I've had Brazilians tell me this themselves and like, oh, people from the South. But honestly, the city where I got the most love and was Curitiba. Me personally, I don't like the city. I like the infrastructure. I think it's nice, super safe, but I don't really rock with it like that. It's too cold for me. Like, man, hell no, it's too damn cold. But I feel like every time I went out, I met Brazilians like super like excited to talk to you. Like I'll be like in line paying for my beer or whatever, like ready to leave, and like but like some girl asked me something like I don't falo português, like oh você americano. Like I have one other girl that spoke English. She's like, oh, you're an American. I know you like it here. You like Brazilian girls, but just like the vibe that you feel with that woman or whatever. I'm not gonna call her girl. She was older, but she looked good for her age. But just in general, I would meet women over there in Curitiba and people like not just women. But I was received like really well there, but Brazilians would tell me like, "Oh, the people are conceited," but not for me. And shit, when I was there in those 3 weeks, man, I got a lot of love, and I only stayed 3 weeks. I was telling myself I should just went to Curitiba for a whole month, but I really don't like it because it doesn't have a beach. It's just like a city, like a metro city. But it's a place where, like I said, like I meet a lot of people there in Curitiba. I've only been there once, but I was in Rio for like a whole month, and I didn't go out with anybody except like friends that I personally knew. Sao Paulo as well, but anybody new, I didn't go out with anybody new in Rio or Sao Paulo. And when I was in Curitiba, like I would go out and just meet people by myself. Like I always met people when I was out by myself. And the same thing with other cities in the north of Brazil. I'm not going to say no more names because people can be like, oh, you're ruining the hidden spots. But there's spots where I've gone to and I met like good looking women, but obviously I didn't get a chance to go out with them because when I was backpacking in the north last year, I would only stay in the city for 5 days. So it's impossible to have a connection with somebody where you're only staying there for 4 or 5 days and you leave to another city. But every other city, like in the north, I would meet people. Aracaju, met a nice girl the first day, and went to Maceió, met another nice group of people. Natal, the same thing. Pipa, the same thing. Fortaleza was the only city I didn't meet people, but I didn't go out that much. But still, like every other city that I went to in the north, I met people south as well and shit, dude. But I think like Rio and Sao Paulo is just difficult, man. Really hard. It kind of reminds you almost like a Medellin now, that people just have their own circles there, not as open to as foreigners and shit, like, But other cities in Brazil is super, super nice. And I'm about to find out how the interior is too when I travel again. But like I said, every time I went out every weekend, I would always meet people. Like it was almost impossible for me not to meet people. And so there's no foreigners in these cities at all. Only other Brazilians travel to these places. Like my sales,
that's probably why. It's probably why you're successful.
Yeah, you've been to Fort Lauderdale, yes, right?
Yeah, I've been to Fort Lauderdale.
So there's a city that I went to in the north called Maceió in Brazil. Fort Lauderdale is just like Maceió, bro, and beautiful. Good weather, cheap nightlife, and cheap like cost of living there as well. Believe it or not, Rio is like super expensive now. But like I said, I went out just one weekend, and I met people. They're like, "Oh, you're an American," but people are super excited. Like everywhere you go to, but except Rio, they meet so many foreigners. They're just kind of like, whatever, dude. Same thing as Sao Paulo, just like whatever, dog. But Sao Paulo people are like New York, man, just rude as hell. I don't like Sao Paulo at all. That shit, people just have like this overlooked glaze on their face, like they're tired of work, and it's like, man, fuck that.
Oh, really? Why?
They work a lot over there, overworked in Sao Paulo.
So they're like New Yorkers, huh?
Yeah, it's like New York. It's a city of 20 million people. It's a big, man. People are just like, you gotta put yourself in their shoes. They're in the metro for a whole hour getting to work. And then they're at work for like 8, 10 hours, maybe 12, and then they go back home. So they got like what, like 9 hours to themselves, like maybe 6 hours to sleep, and then like whatever. Yeah, people are just miserable in Sao Paulo, man. Like
Is it like Bogota? Bogota's got that reputation as well.
yeah, but Bogota is 10, but Sao Paulo is like 20 million. It's like double the size of Bogota. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, that's
huge
great.
city.
That's great. So of course, yeah. There's a book I read by, I think he was an anthropologist. Was he an anthropologist? No, I forgot his actual title, but he studied like animals, like chimpanzees and how they live in a small confined area, right? He says humans are similar to them. It's called animal something. And he says humans that live in a big city, live in a cemento house or, whatever, like these high rise buildings, and there's so many of them, they tend to react a certain way. They're always kind of anxious and crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, dude, like it just depends though. Everybody's like different. You might go to a city like, for example, you like Cali, but I know a lot of people that gone to Cali and they hate it, dude. And but me personally, I like Cali. Even though the city is not beautiful, I feel like I met a lot of people there in Cali. A lot more easier to meet people for me, my perspective, than it is Medellin. Now Medellin was easy back in the day when I first got there, but now it's like people are a little bit more like to themselves because of the reputation that we have. Cali, like people just go over there to dance salsa. People ain't going over there for like no women and stuff like that. I'm not saying they don't have a red light zone there. I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know, but not nothing like Medellin. Nobody goes to like in groups to Cali to go look for that shit like they do in Medellin, Cartagena, right? So
Yeah, Cali people are going there to dance. People are not
yeah,
going there
that's what I'm
to
saying.
basically.
People going to dance and shit, man. The same
Yeah.
thing with other cities in Medellin, like, or I'm sorry, outside like Medellin, like Pereira. I've been to Pereira. Pereira is super nice. I feel like Pereira is still a hidden gem. And I guess I don't know other city that have I like. Just
I
Pereira
think
and
I think
Cali outside
the
of Medellin.
problem with Pereira is it's a city you want to go to if you got a family. Pereira,
Hmm.
Manizales, right?
Hmm.
If you got a family, you got a wife, you got kids, you're part of a community, these are places you go to. If
Oh
you're
yeah.
not, if you're not, let's say you go to Pereira, who are you gonna hang out with? If you don't have two or three friends you meet up with for lunch, you meet up with to hang out the whole damn day, you're wasting your time. Because it's boring. It's boring, dude. What are you gonna do? I know a guy. I'm not gonna tell you too much about him because you might know him. He lives in Cali. All right. He's lived there for 30 years. He got there 30 years or 20 years? 20, 20 or 30 years. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe 20 years. I don't think he's been there 30 years. He got there when he was 30. Now he's 50. Okay. You know what this guy does? He says he's got a business online, an online business. He's got, I don't know, he's from Canada. All right. He hangs out all day with his ex wife or ex girlfriend's. I don't know if it's her son. So he's 50. The guy he hangs out with is like 33. He's Colombia from Cali. All they do all day is sit in coffee shops and jump from coffee to coffee shops, just staring at people. Because I met them, I know what they do. I like them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I like them, but I think it's very weird. Who the fuck sits there all day at a mall, and then they jump from mall to
No,
mall?
I agree.
It's,
Dude. I think Pereira is good. Like if you can find like a circle of people, but if you go by yourself, I think Pereira would probably be difficult to
it's
meet
horrible.
people.
It's a
Yeah,
horrible
yeah.
place. I had a girlfriend from Pereira, and I would visit her from Medellin, and then she came to me with Medellin. She started crying. My family, because it was just me and her, and then she was crying. She ended up going back to damn Pereira after a few days because she was homesick. You know what I'm saying? So it was very very difficult for her. Not gonna leave her family. It was very difficult, but somehow she packed up and left, and she moved to Bogota, and then she got married in Bogota.
Hmm.
She met a guy in Bogota, got married, and I think had a few kids.
You know what? I was gonna tell you, Rob. I don't know. I met a guy at the beach. Like he was from Bogota, but he works there. Like he's one of the guys that like sets up the beach chairs and stuff like that, makes drinks.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask this guy. We just started talking. I was like, yeah, I heard his accent Colombian, but I knew he wasn't Paisa because of his accent.
Yeah,
He's
of
like, yeah,
course.
I was like, yeah. I told him I've been to Medellin a bunch of times. Stayed there for about 6 months one time. He's like, yeah, but the women over there, you know how they are, man. They're all about the money. Like they like their bandidos, and that's what's just like it's so funny because like the rest of the Colombians know exactly how the Paisa women are, but a lot of foreigners that go there don't have no idea, bro. That's why they get in so much trouble. That's why they get robbed, they get drugged, they get set up. This dude's never stepped foot a day in
Okay.
his life, and he already knows how the women are over there, bro.
Well, yeah, 100%. Well, let me tell you, like, for example, you remember the Asian guy from Minnesota, 50-year-old guy. He's like an activist for the Hmong people, and he's supposedly a comedian or something. So he was killed. He had remember he was dating a 19-year-old. He's 50 years
Yeah.
old, dating a 19-year-old. And then she set him up to where she said, "Hey, come to my hood, come to my apartment. I'm going to cook you something." And there was three guys waiting for him there. And they took him and held him for ransom. Remember that? They took
Yeah.
him, held him for ransom, and then they ended up fucking torturing him, killing him.
No, there's the other one where the girl's like, she was like, the guy went to like, because she had like a French poodle or something like that. Like, I don't know, French bulldog or something, whatever, like a cute puppy. And he's just like, yeah, I went to her house. But I'm thinking something like, realistically, like, I looked at the dude, he's like in his mid 40s, not a good looking guy. And the girl's like young, 22. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like, bro, you really think this girl's like really feeling you? Like, why would you go to her house? Like, he said he was at the gym with her. I don't know. I really don't believe these dudes
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Of course.
He's like, bro. I look at him. He's like, you don't look like a dude that worked the day in his life, works out. But he's like, I went to the gym with her. Then I went to her apartment, and three guys were waiting for me. And he actually got shot. I think it was like last year, right? Yeah, he got shot a few times, but he broke away. And it's funny because he went back with the police, and even the police officer says in Spanish, like, "Eres un baraco." Like, you broke away from this. You got shot 5 times. I'm like, bro, you're so lucky, bro.
All right. Oh, I remember that story. Yeah, the guy with the glasses from Canada, right?
Yeah, and you know what's so
Yeah,
funny?
yeah, I
That
remember
girl is
that.
good looking, and it's so funny that she actually the guy that was helping her boyfriend at the time,
He was
it
Canadian.
wasn't even Colombian. He was like a Canadian or something like that.
Yeah, he was a white Canadian dude. And then he set up another guy. I think he's Canadian as well.
Yeah, and they've actually. It's funny. Like she was messaging him from prison, talking about like I'll be your slave. I got 20 years. I don't know if she'll really do the 20 years, but supposedly she's like pregnant.
She
Or something.
wanted him to drop the actual charges.
Yeah. Fuck no, shit, bro. Hell no.
Did they give her 20 years?
I think so. I think that's what she was crying to him on Instagram. Yeah.
Wow. Because she's stuck 20 years. Her youth is gone. If she's how old is she? 30?
She's like 21, 22 or something like
Okay,
that.
she's
Yeah.
22. 20 years, she'll be in her mid 40s when she
I
early to
don't
mid
think,
40s.
I don't know if she'll do the whole 20, man. And shit, like I just think they'll let her out in 5 years or something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
And
we'll
I
see
don't
what
know who's gonna
happens
take
there.
care of her kid. I guess her grandma. She was talking about like my grandma needs me.
The problem is taking care of her kid. The grandma's got to come out of pocket. Where's she going to get the money from?
I
A lot of
know.
time, the parents are dependent on the kids to help them.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. God bless them, dude. This is why I say you want to respect everybody you come across. You don't know their scenario. You always want to respect everybody because you can easily rub the wrong person, including myself. You can rub the wrong person off the wrong way. And I'm still learning myself, and I've been there for years. You know what I mean? But I know I try to do my best to try to treat people the way they treat me. If they're nice to me, I'm nice to them. If they're harsh, a lot of times I'm harsh with them as well. I don't think I'll change at this stage of my life. I think when somebody's nice, I'm nice. If they're harsh, I'm harsh. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that's my personality or so. I couldn't tell you, but that's just it is just what it
Yeah,
is what
me
it
too.
is.
Like if I go back to Medellin, I have a small circle. Like I hang around with just a few group of people. Like I'm not looking to make new friends. Like I'm cool with the people that I know for a few years. Like I know where they live at and stuff like that. Their families. Like I'm just like I know the girl that's been like that did the live with me a few years. I know her mom. Her mom's cooked for me. Like I have like a really small circle. I'm not really trying to meet new people. I'm cool with that. Like I'll meet other people in other countries, but Colombia, like I'm good, man. Like
Yeah, but I know why. Listen, Colombia is hard to find. Look,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it's
Like, I'm happy with the people that I'm with, and like I hang around with those people. I'm good, bro. Like, that's it. For like, I'm cool, bro. Like, I don't
yeah.
mess.
I think it's gonna be hard to find quality, because I remember I hung out with a guy in Medellin. He was ex-military, but the guy was nuts. He used to carry weapons. Like he had like a taser. He had a taser on him. He was always nervous and everything else. And I would tell him, I said, don't speak English loud. Don't talk loud, dude. Pete, when you go into areas, he's carrying all these like he's got a stun gun, it's like a taser, and then he's got something else. And I'm thinking to him, why are you carrying that? I said, you're in places where you can't use it anyway. Like it was weird. It was very weird to me. We're in the mall. He's got a taser. I'm like, what the hell? You got a tase a security guard? You know? I mean, I get it, but what are you gonna do, man? You know?
Hey, you know what I will say I like about Colombia versus Brazil is like in Colombia they beat the shit out of the robbers. Over here they're a little bit more sympathetic. Like when you see the
Oh,
videos
okay.
of them getting caught, they just kind of like hold them down. But in
Okay.
Colombia they don't even do that anymore. They just beat the shit out of you, bro.
I know they well.
In Brazil, they just like, bro, they have
Vigilante.
like kids now, bro. They call them the favela kids, man. They go up to
Yeah.
you like, dude, it's fucking man. Dude, like they have the thing now. I was telling who was it, Rico, that where they have like the motorcycles. They'll be like on top of the curb or whatever.
Okay.
And what they do is they wait for people to use a cell phone. And so when somebody gets on the cell phone, they ram it up like high speed and they take the cell phone. And that's something that's going on a lot in Brazil, especially in Rio with foreigners and stuff like that. But
You know what they were doing in Cali. I see. I hate to tell you this because I don't know if it's true, man. So a lot of things I don't like to talk, but I heard this is what they do. Like the Venezuelans the guys will come up to stab you to take your phone. You know what I mean? They don't even try to negotiate. Hey, man, give me your phone. They don't do that.
I believe it, bro. Yeah, I believe it, man.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. But I have family on my mom's side that's actually Venezuelan. And when I was in Medellin, he told me, "Hey, don't hang out with him." I'm like, "What the hell, dude? You're Venezuelan. Why would you say that?" You know, you know what I mean? That's your brethren. You know what I'm saying? It was
I
weird when
was
he
gonna
told me.
ask you, bro. Like now that I think Venezuela is officially gonna open towards Americans towards in a year, do you think that demographics is gonna change? Like the tourism that used to go to Medellin and
I
Cartagena.
think what needs to happen is you got to wait until the economy gets stable.
Yeah,
All of
but
the people.
there's a lot of guys that are gonna go because I already see a lot of content creators hyping it up, like, oh, find our wives and all that bullshit. So there's
Yeah,
gonna be a lot of guys
that's all bullshit, dude. The only thing they're gonna find are women that are dependent. You can find that anywhere. You know what I mean? Because you got to keep in mind the economy took a hit. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for the economy to reestablish itself. You know that it's taken a hit with sanctions and everything else. I would wait 5, 10 years, like 5 years. I wouldn't go right away because what's going to happen is it's still a poor country. You're still
I
going to
think a
feel
lot
the
of
end.
guys are gonna get drugged over there too. I think it's gonna be worse because at least in
Oh
Colombia,
yeah,
they could do a little bit of research and maybe catch the criminal, but I think in Venezuela it's gonna be, man, you're on your own completely.
you're on your own. It's still the crime
Completely
rate. It's one
100%,
of
bro.
the most dangerous places to go, dude.
And I think the criminals that are in Colombia are gonna bounce back home because that's their backyard and
Right.
shit. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that this is gonna happen, but I know for sure they're gonna be robbing tourists a lot, and especially some of the passport bros that go over there thinking they're slick. I want to have women be like, bro, it's gonna be bad. I know it's gonna be bad.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. 100%. You hit it on the head, dude. You're gonna see. It's not. People think it's easy. It's not that easy. You got to wait until
You
things
know
turn
why
around.
that's so expensive? Like Buenos Aires, a lot of
Dude,
people don't know that.
it's like going to Colombia in the '80s or the '90s. You got to back the hell up and wait until things get better, man. It was Uribe that turned the country around. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Uribe turned it around, and now he's lowered the homicide rate, the crime rate, and then he stabilized certain areas all over the country. You know what I mean? So he actually turned things around. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. When are you on again? When do you plan on being on again?
I think when I have my friend, I think I'll probably do it Tuesday because I leave Thursday, so I really got 3 days. But honestly, Monday I get there kind of late, so I'm gonna ask her if she's down to do it Tuesday or most likely Wednesday.
You should post it so people know because what happens like when I get these notifications last minute, but somehow you
Yeah.
should post your live so we know.
Yeah, you know what? I'll probably do that tomorrow. As soon as I get to the apartment, I just post it for like Wednesday. I ask her like Wednesday because she's not working. She lost her job, so that's why I kind of got lucky with it.
Damn, sorry. Yeah, sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
but I think what I might do like a regular video because I haven't done a video with somebody in a long time. Just like have her talk about it, like in my pocket 3, and then like a few minutes, and then I want to do like a live with her like the next day. I think Wednesday would probably be a good day. I think the bus to go to Puerto Alegre on Thursday leaves at night. I think it's only one bus that leaves at night. So
Okay.
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to find like another place. I'll probably just rent a hostel for like a few hours because I'm not gonna be there the whole days and just like at 7 o'clock go to the bus station. But it's overnight bus, thank God. So it's like I could get to sleep. But I'll definitely do the live with her maybe Wednesday or not Tuesday. I'll ask her like when she feels comfortable. And then after that, like I said, I'm on God's good graces because like I have to find people. Like damn, my Portuguese is such shit. But like I said, like I
Yeah,
might meet some.
even if you don't find people, you should still do like what's his name based out of Cali, Andre Love Borders or whatever. He does a lot of lives,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah. I
every
mean,
day.
no, I'm gonna do lives. I do lives, but I want to do like I like to do interviews and stuff like that because I
Yeah.
bought like the mic to go with the Pocket 3, and it's really good. Like I was like, I gotta get used to the Pocket. Like the other day, I did the Argentina video, but people don't realize that I took like 15 takes because I kept like doing like the camera wrong, and I have to get used to it. So
Yep.
finally, I feel like almost giving it up on. I was just like, let me do this damn video because I've been doing it like for an hour, walking around like an idiot. I'm pretty sure people were making fun of me because I was just like walking around like the block just like kept practicing and practicing and practicing because I got to get used to talking to the camera again, guys.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you have like 100 people looking at you because some people were staring like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But I gotta like practice.
As long as you're in a safe area, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah,
They'll
no, it's
figure it.
safe over here, bro. I'm in a good zone and shit. Fool. Buenos Aires is
Sounds
pretty
good.
safe, bro, like compared to other parts of Latin America. But I never. That's why somebody asked me like, how come I didn't do it in Rio? I'm like, hell no. Like that's why I got the glasses. And even with the glasses, I'm still careful. Like I'm not gonna have the camera on me anywhere in Rio. Like there's a lot of content creators that you see in Pedro do Sal in Rio, like on a Monday night. But even then, like I'm still kind of like sketched out. I'm like, oh, bro, I don't feel like busted on my camera and shit. But like in the south of Brazil, is a lot more safer. Florianopolis or whatever, I could definitely like film over there.
You know, the other thing you can do is when you have these people doing the interviews, just this recommendation. If you know she's laid off, offer her a little bit of money.
Yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
Say, hey, yeah, because truth of the matter is, if you got people that are going out of their way, keep in mind on the weekends, that's their day off. Say, hey, man, I want to give you, if you know 20, 30, whatever it is that you got to give them, goes a long way for however amount of time. Do it, man. That they'll be more than happy to give you the interview. Don't ever not offer anything. That's what I would do if it's somebody that's not financially stable. I'll say, hey, why don't let me interview you. What are you making one day? Let me pay you that for a few hours of your time, that kind of stuff, depending on what they make. But let's do this. I'll definitely I'll be waiting out for your interview, your live and then go from there, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, yeah. The girl's gonna speak English. Thank God, she speaks 3 languages actually: Portuguese and Spanish and English. So it's like hell yeah, I don't have to like translate so hard, bro. Like, yeah, man, just one of those. I was supposed to have another guest too in Rio, the Carioca, but she never came through too. That's why I kind of got mad. She's talking about the damn museum, and I was like, bro, you told me that you were gonna come through. She was like, 'cause she speaks good English as well. She's an English student, an English major. I'm sorry. But you can't really depend on people sometimes. But like I said, I never met her in person. But this other girl, I known her for like 3 years. I met her in Mexico. She's dope. So
nice.
Yeah. But this will
Cool,
be
man.
camera. I have camera because like I feel like some women that I'm really close to, I'm not gonna put them on camera because if people say some dumb
Yeah,
shit, bro.
they're kind of weird. You don't have to have them on camera. You could just have them give their take on
Yeah,
things. It depends on exactly what you're trying to accomplish to get them on camera, to be honest with
yeah.
you. But
No, I think this one I have it more on camera because, like I said, she's like used to being around foreigners, bro. Like that was her
okay,
job for like a year. Yeah, yeah.
nice,
So
nice,
she's
cool,
around like
man.
drunk people and shit and all that stuff. But it'll be interesting to get her take. Actually, I'm gonna ask her like a bunch of questions about Mexico as well. But I think I don't know anybody that goes to Montevideo. Like I think if anything, Paraguay is like more of a hidden gem now. Like Asunción is starting to be a place where a lot of expats are starting like slowly go over there. I think.
It depends. Truth of the matter is, it depends on what people are trying to accomplish. If
Yeah.
they're going there for lifestyle, cost of living, or if they're going there for attractive women, it really depends. Like you got to really step back because these countries are going to.
Yeah, there's
They're
some
trying to
places
find.
that are like the hidden gems though. Like, but just like I think that's the thing. Like a lot of guys like get fixated with women, but if you go to a place where you want peace and quiet, like you could avoid like if you don't give a damn about party scenes or want something more cheaper, you could go to Florianopolis, which I'm gonna do a video on. I have
Yeah,
done it.
but these guys, listen. They have to have a reason. Like if they're going by themselves, it's very difficult. If you're going to
Yeah,
experience culture, that's one thing. I'll give you an example. I was in Mexico City a couple of weeks ago. Now, when I go to Mexico, I went there to go to a convention for work. But when I went to visit her for the culture, visit the museums like a tourist, it was a different experience. But you want to go to these places with somebody. You don't want to go by yourself. If you go by yourself, it's okay, but you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan with these things. That's what people don't realize. They just make these decisions. I know a guy that went to the Philippines. All of a sudden, they ran out of gas in the Philippines, so now he packed up and came back to the U.S. But
Hey
you
man, I'm
know,
gonna be stuck in Mexico for a while, guys. I'm not gonna. People think that I'm rich. Like, bro, the gas prices on the airplanes are about to go up the ass because this war lasts another month. I was like, airlines are gonna just be charging.
no. Listen. Trump's giving them a 48-hour to open up the Strait
Oh,
of
come
Hormuz.
on, bro, man.
Look,
He's been
listen. No,
saying that 60 weeks,
I'll
bro.
tell you what I think's going to happen. He's going to negotiate with them to stop everything, because you cannot deal with these people. The Persians are a different breed, man. You can't mess with them. They're part of the Persian. They're descendants of the Persian Empire. They're not fond of damn invaders, dude. You know that. There was an
Man, you know
8-year
how
war
much
with
money
Iraq.
they wasted rescuing that pilot? I'm glad that they rescued him, but when I saw like what they shot down an F-15 that's $100 million plane. They shot
Wow.
down an 18 Warhawk that's about another $20-30 million plane.
Right.
The two AC-130s, I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to land them in an enemy airfield, and they
Ah,
got stuck in the sand or some shit like that, and they had to like send their own airplanes to blow them up. So they lost
wow.
about maybe like $350 million worth of equipment and shit just to
Damn.
get these guys, because that's how desperate Trump was. Like, he didn't want the PR publicity, because if they would have captured these two pilots, he's done. And shit, like that.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. We should discuss that on your next live, man. I'm gonna
Mhm.
check out because I got to try to get some things done. But
All right, man. All right, man.
let,
But thanks to anybody that showed up, dude. I'll have the guests like in 2 days, and I'll definitely have the guests maybe like the live a little bit at night, because like obviously it's different time zone. But I have to
send
do it
out a
early.
notification in advance, not the same day.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give like at least a day or 2 days advance, man, so guys
Yeah,
can
let
know.
us know. Like sometimes you get these notifications. You're gonna go live and do that, so that way we don't show up like last minute.
All right. Thank guys. Thank you for pulling up, and I'll have another live in about 2 more days, guys, or another guest. And see
Thank
y'all
you.
later.
All right,
Likewise.
man. Salute, man. Thanks, man. Yep.